Hello, viewers out there. Welcome again to Stream of Blood. This is the tabletop streaming show where we do games that are roughneck, hardcore, insanity-inducing, basically anything that involves violence or mayhem. That is the kind of role-playing games we play here on Stream of Blood. And we are providing this content to you during pandemic 2020. And we just want to remind everybody before we even get started, stay in your house, socially distance, stay 6 feet apart from everybody, be safe and be healthy, and let's conquer this thing. Okay, let's move on. I'm going to introduce our guests today. I'm really excited they're here. The first guy is a good friend of mine. We knew each other doing stand-up comedy in Chicago. He's been on Star Search. He's written for 100 things, and he's just one of the funniest touring comics I know. Please welcome to the stream, Mr. John Roy.
Oh, hi.
Hi. John, welcome. I'm so happy you're here. And today we're playing Mothership, a science fiction horror RPG. Well, do you have like a favorite science fiction horror movie or anything like that?
I love Alien. I mean, who doesn't? And I think this is the perfect game to like capture that feel.
Alien may be one of my top 10 favorite movies, honestly.
Hands down, best sci-fi horror movie.
Yeah. And then Alien Covenant is probably in my bottom 7,000.
I never got past Aliens. I never saw the other ones. I was afraid.
Wow, I think that's the correct thing to do. Maybe, I don't know. Some people, I kind of like Prometheus. I know that's unpopular. All right, I have to keep introducing people.
Yes.
Next up, we have an incredible stand-up writer, raconteur, man about town, and Passover dinner preparer, my good pal and former roommate, Mr. Guy Branum, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Hi, Guy.
Hello.
Hey, Guy, I'm so happy that we get this time to hang out together.
It's very exciting. It's been too long since I have seen you and Kara, and it's been too long since we've gamed together. And I'm very excited to get some grease on the dice.
Yes. The best thing about one of the many good things about Guy is that in terms of RPGs, you really kind of get into the character, and I really appreciate that.
Oh, it's very fun. It's very fun. Generating a character last night it took me in a lot of directions. I learned a lot about her. Yes.
Okay, good. So hopefully we get to showcase some of that biography as we go. I'm going to introduce our final player today. This guy, we just became friends. He's a comedian, an improviser, and a self-proclaimed black nerd. He knows how to do this better than we do, and we're so happy to have him here to share his expertise. Please welcome Ify Nwadiwe.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey,
how's everyone feeling? I don't feel it's self-proclaimed. I feel like it's pointed at me. It was like, you're a black nerd. You're not just a nerd. You're a black one. I was like, all right, cool. You know?
Okay, I don't know who's yelling that at you, but I would stay away from them. I think that your background.
Stan Lee, that's who did it.
Stan Lee did?
Yeah,
really?
Stan Lee. I met him. He was like, you're a black nerd. And don't forget it.
Wow.
Excelsior.
When you have that little time left in life, is that how you want to spend it?
He was fully experiencing senility for the last 10 years there. I just to prove if he knows what he's doing, you have created, you have a backdrop of an actual ship. Looks like the barracks, maybe, of a ship.
Yeah. No, I have a green screen, and once I saw there was a green screen option, I was like, it's time to have fun. You know?
Yeah, I live in a much cooler place than this. This is just some random guy's bedroom.
Yeah.
Well, it's weird that you chose that room, John, because your living room actually looks like Ify's backdrop. I know. Guys, we are playing Mothership today. I don't think any of you guys have ever played this game before. This is one of my first times playing it. But when it was introduced to me, I thought, wow, what a mind-blowingly cool, simple game to recreate a genre that we all really love or we're at least familiar with. And the person who introduced this game to me is my always co-host, the guy that will pop in and correct us on the rules as much as possible because I get them wrong. Please welcome the Ed McMahon to my Johnny Carson, Mr. Clinton Trucks, everybody.
Hey-o!
I know your microphone that you had to hook up today. Clint, his regular microphone, something happened, so now he's on a literally stand-up microphone. So that means you have to do stand-up on the show today.
Is this the right one? Is this the SM, whatever you guys use?
Yeah, it looks like a stand-up microphone.
Clinton.
Do you want to do like a little bit of stand-up, like as if you're in the world from Alien?
You ready?
Yeah, sure.
Goodbye.
Okay, bye. Clint doesn't like to
really
be asked
funny.
to
That was
perform,
good.
but he's very bold about popping in to explain rules. So don't worry about that.
Jared, in the way that Ed McMahon spun off from The Tonight Show and got Star Search on his own, I think this is clearly just a stepping stone to Clint getting Tank Search, a reality competition show where people try to prove that they're the best tank.
That's a great. That would be. I wish that was the world we lived in, where we could specifically talk about different role-playing archetypes as a whole.
Shows only tanks.
I mean, this is social distancing day 15, day 16. Who knows what happens when we hit the 100 or 500 mark? You know,
that's a good point. Yeah, at that point, everybody's going to be like, there's usually be talk shows about The Sims and stuff like that. Whole branches of entertainment are going to take place on The Sims. Okay, let's get into our game today. So, like you might imagine, our game today is going to take place on a ship out in the far reaches of space. And I think if we could, we should briefly introduce our characters. And by briefly, we don't need to know too much about their background or their personality yet. Just tell me what your character's name is and what his class is, and maybe a little bit about his skills. Why don't we start with you, John?
My character's name is Matt McGann. He is a Teamster, and he's kind of got the basic sort of things I would pick in an RPG skill set. He's got first aid, 0G, mechanical repair, driving, military training, and athletics.
That seems like more skills than were allowed.
No, you get as a Teamster, and then you get 4 points, which I spent on. You get the 2 you get as a Teamster, which you get 0G.
Oh, you do?
Repair.
Yeah.
Then you pick 1 heavy machinery you're piloting. Then you get plus 4 points that you can spend, and it's 1 point for every trained skill. And that's what I did.
You're absolutely right, and I apologize for questioning.
I got a Clinton back in here to.
No, you don't need to, because I'm looking. The sheet for Mothership's really, really useful, and it like kind of shows you in a flowchart. It's very easy to check your work. So it looks like Teamsters, even though they're kind of like the blue collar laborers of space in Mothership, they get more skills than anybody else. So that's really cool.
And I get plus 5 on speed and strength. So I'm 45 health, 43 strength, 45 speed.
Wow, you're optimized. I think.
Yeah, this dude's a monster. Yeah, I have some thoughts that I'm gonna give when we get to me.
Okay, well, let's go ahead. Let's do it.
Okay,
Ify, tell me about your character.
Okay, so my character name is Jimmy Doucet, and he's from New Orleans, a colony that is based within the south of region of space. But my class is, I went with the Marine thinking I would be great because I went in the order. That's how I do, and this is why I fuck up IKEA furniture so much. I just do it in order. I don't look at the whole thing. I'm like, my first mind, especially in RPGs, because I want to be like who my heart's calling to. Then I get to part 3 because part 1 you feeling, part 2 you're feeling good. Oh, Marine, great. My speed and strength, great. And then you get to part 3 and all I get is military training and 3 points. And you look at Teamsters and scientists, they get like 50 skills. But I will say I went with military training, athletics, and close quarters combat. So, because I'm ready to protect y'all. That's what I want to do. That's typically what I play in a lot of RPGs. A lot of tanks. A lot of tanks are fighters, or just who I go. And I was like, I got to keep it the same right now.
I wonder if they think that like combat expertise weighs a little heavier than like, say, being able to do biology. So that's why they give the military guy a little less, skill points. And I think he gets like more combat and more armor, which maybe they weigh a little more heavily.
He gets a fat bonus if there's other Marines in the fight too.
Yeah, exactly.
Other Marines, then that guy's a murderer.
Too bad nobody else decided to play a Marine. This guy's just going to be panicking and blowing your brains out in a paranoid rage. All right, and finally, Guy, please tell me about your character.
I'm Dr. Callista Lopez. I'm a scientist. I'm a trained geneticist. My ex-husband was a chemist, so I sort of picked up some of that along the way. And I'm also trained in linguistics because I always toyed with the idea of doing like xenolinguistics and stuff like that, but never actually pursued it. I'm from New San Diego in Brazil.
Great. Perfect. All right. I hope that her starting over goes well for her. I believe that she's left her husband, right? Or he's left her.
He left me for my boss, Dr. Catherine Hu. Both of them have been nominated for Nobel Prizes. I never really have because Quattro's career really came before mine.
Yeah.
But this is my opportunity to do things on my terms and make a little money because, frankly, the divorce was very expensive.
Got it. Let's get into the game. I'm going to start you guys off on a ship. This ship is the ship that you've been on for a while. It's called the DSS Tradewind. It's got the same layout as the ship in the book. I think you understand why I might do that. So that I hadn't quite designed my own ship yet. But our friend Clint did design a bunch of stats for it, and he gave me a description of it. Let me see if I can bring that up real quick. Basically. Yes, thank you. Okay. The Tradewind is a deep space survey vessel which has been commissioned for commercial use by Nguyen AMF. AMF stands for Augmented Medical Frontiers. To test some of their...
I was not gonna say anything, but
wait, help me. What happened?
It's pronounced win.
Win?
Yeah.
Pretty sure it's Nguyen. Win AMF, Augmented Medical Frontiers. Sorry, I don't speak Vietnamese.
Can I take a linguistics roll on this one?
I don't think it would help. I'm from West Virginia, and I still pronounce things like I am from West Virginia.
Isn't that -5 on your linguistics checks if you're from West Virginia?
I think it's -100. Okay. So this ship, its mission is to go out into deep space and test some of this corporations' various innovations in a deep space or hyperspace environment. Okay. And currently, your captain and your XO are not on the bridge, but you guys are on the bridge. Now, I assume that Ify, I assume that Jimmy, there's always a Marine kind of assigned to the bridge. That feels like a pretty safe bet. That they keep a guy up there generally on just guard duty. And these are long shifts. Probably you're getting pretty bored. I need to know maybe why, and I think I have an idea of why Matt is on the bridge right now. I know that Matt is the blue collar labor type, the Teamster type, but I figure that sometimes they kind of leave the bridge kind of in the hands of a Teamster who just kind of makes sure nothing's crashing into anything else. And
I built these machines. I can fix them and tune them if I got to.
Okay. And you're going to be doing that voice the whole time, right?
Only when I'm in character, when I'm talking as Matt. Not like I'm not psychotic.
I'm just saying I see huge bonuses coming your way if you continue to use that voice. Basically, you're just kind of keeping an eye on the shop. If you see some warning lights, some sensors go off, that's when you start calling the captain and the XO. Because right now it's in the ship's sleep cycle, right? You guys are on night shift. But I want to know, why is Dr. Lopez at the bridge at this late hour? It's probably like, in terms of their sleep cycles, maybe 2 or 3 in the morning.
As a commissioned officer, though one without any bridge training, I like to be on the bridge in case something might happen. As the highest ranking person there, I feel like I might give an order to Matt, even though I understand he's probably just going to do what he's going to do. But it's very important to me that I'm the 3rd highest ranking person on this ship, even though all of my jobs take place in the lab.
Right. You are the project director for the WIN Corporation and this venture. So you are the lead scientist. So yeah, it makes sense. You kind of be up there. You're kind of you're on your big life adventure. You're kind of learning how long distance ship travel works. So
Also, constantly running scans. Constantly, I'm just like, God, are we gonna find something? I don't really understand how like long distance space travel works. Most of my experience is within like the local couple of solar systems.
okay. Yeah, no, completely understand. And you guys have been going very far afield to various outer colonies. While you are spending time on the bridge tonight, I will allow Mr. McGann, you may make an intellect roll, or if you have something related to what is it before astrogation? Oh, piloting. Do you have anything related to
don't
piloting?
have piloting. I have driving. I
Okay.
didn't have piloting.
All right. Well, they put a guy who doesn't quite have piloting on the bridge tonight, but that's okay. Like again, your job was just to alert somebody more senior if something goes wrong. But
we're short-staffed. We got to fill in when they tell us.
Okay, go ahead and make that intellect roll, though.
Is that a 2d10 roll?
You got it. You're really rolling percentile dice, right? So one is your tens die, and one is your.
And I'm trying to go under a 36. That's my intellect.
Okay.
And I did not do it. I got a 76.
Not completely surprising. You guys are currently in hyperspace, but you suddenly notice that the ship is getting a lot of turbulence, which it's not really supposed to do in hyperspace, seeing as how you're moving through a theoretical, not quite real, imaginary liminal space. It's kind of troubling that that's going on right now.
Dak, this thing's shaking.
Oh, I'm not a physicist. Is it supposed to shake right now?
No, it is not.
Okay. Should we call the captain then?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't have authority to do that. You're the third highest ranking.
Okay. I'm going to open up communications with the captain.
Okay, great. So the captain would be in her quarters right now, sleeping. Her name is Zoe Vitarello, and you get her on the horn, or you get her room on the horn, and you're basically ringing and ringing. This would like awaken her, and like she would pick up, but you're not getting an answer right now.
Okay. Crewman McGann, can you compensate for this in some way?
Well, I don't really understand all of this machinery, but I can try. I can see if maybe my heavy machinery skill might have some bearing on the situation.
Actually, for this like deck of like communications equipment, it wouldn't. And I'm not sure
I
that
have
you
mechanical repair too. Does that help?
What's that?
I have mechanical repair too.
You guys seem a little worried, so maybe we should all take a quick stress test.
Okay.
Okay.
Even me?
I think even you. I think that's a good idea. Yeah. So
what's a stress roll?
Yeah. We are going to roll. Let me see here. I have the rule right here.
Okay.
Okay. So, you, Clint, can you explain the stress tests to us?
Sure. I'm going to be reading from the book, but stand by while I zoom in to make it legible.
Oh, you make a fear save.
Correct.
Okay.
That's it. Okay, so just try to roll under your fear save, everybody.
I did not do that.
Okay.
I rolled a 20.
Right.
Then you rolled under it, right? You succeeded.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Oh, yep, I succeeded.
Fail.
Okay, if you failed, you take a point of stress. So just make sure you add that to how much stress you have.
Okay.
And so Matt McGann, you're sweating a little bit because all you know is that the ship is not supposed to kind of experience its own stress when it is moving through hyperspace. And now I'm going to say that someone is trying to. You failed to contact Captain Vitarello, and now you see the board light up. Someone is trying to contact you guys in the bridge.
Jimmy, what you're the military guy. What do we do?
Look, man, if it has to do with mechanical stuff, doohickeys and all that, that has nothing to do with me. If something needs to be shot, that's when you call me up. So
there's someone who wants to talk to us. Do we talk to him or do we leave him?
Yeah, you definitely talk to them. And then if they need to be shot, I need you to talk to them to determine whether or not they need to be shot, and then you hit me up.
The call light is flashing. Someone is trying to talk to you guys.
Doc, you're the talker. You do it.
Yeah, you the one with the brains.
I answer the phone.
This is Sown. We've got. I have a problem down here. There is an unidentified life form on the cargo deck. And then all of a sudden you hear, from a gun. I need backup right away. I need her sent down here right now.
Well, that sounds like something that needs to be shot. That definitely sounds like that.
So he cuts off, and you know that the voice that you heard was the security director for the expedition. He's part of the Win AMF team, and his name is Sohn. Sohn is his last name. So that was your security officer letting you know that he needs help right away.
Yeah, it just seems like I need to get down there. That's kind of my job. So I guess y'all can hold down the fort.
Well, hold on, though. You know, you're in command, Doc. Do we go down with him? Do we stay up here?
I'm going to go get the captain. I think there's probably some sort of security thing going on in the hold. So I think, Jimmy, you should probably...
By himself?
I mean, look, I am a Marine. You have nothing to worry about, but those could be pirates. So instead of fighting the captain, I suggest maybe you just go inside your rooms, lock up, and hide under your beds or something.
No, I think. Does somebody need to stay here and fly the ship?
No, it is on an automated course. That's why they were able to leave Matt McGann kind of just watching the sensors.
Does having Matt in the bridge do anything good for anybody?
You know what, Dr. Lopez, make an intellect roll.
62 minus 56. I did not make it.
You did not make it. All you know is that there was some talk of getting out of hyperspace tonight, that at some point that was supposed to happen, and that's all I can tell you because you failed your role. But it seems like maybe things aren't happening according to schedule, and you're just now realizing it because this isn't really your specific expertise on the ship.
Is there someone on the ship whose expertise it is that we would know?
Absolutely, the XO, the captain.
Okay,
I think all three of us should go get the captain.
But then we leave the alien down there ripping up everybody else.
We don't need to say aliens just yet. This could be space pirates.
He said life form.
I mean, look, I'm a life form. You're a life form. You know, us security types, we talk in generalities, okay?
Look, Crewman McGann, I definitely want to get down there and figure out whatever is going on. I think there was some sort of misconception from the security officer. I mean, the notion of this being like an alien life form that's killing people is pretty ridiculous. I think we should go down. What was that? Warden?
Well,
I think that's a great idea. I think that is what you guys should do. I'm not even supposed to weigh in because I'm in completely,
I just didn't know. I didn't know if you were questioning my assertion that.
No, I think I should be there with you with this rigging gun I got. It's not built for combat, but it does do a bit of damage. I should accompany you because you're the only one smart enough to do anything if they're all dead.
Yeah, I do have a Warden question. In this world, do aliens exist, or is this in a future where every even space people are human and aliens are a weird thing?
I think that a great place to start is to think of aliens. So an alien, maybe, nobody, there were androids, but nobody had ever heard of alien life forms, right? Or even once we're into the sequels, they are a well-kept secret. So Jimmy probably doesn't believe or knows he hasn't seen one ever.
I mean, there's not intelligent life forms. There's like there's shit out there that's alive.
Nah, you talking that space science gobbledygook. That's what I'm talking about. See, you put a DR in front of people's names and they just start making stuff up. There's a pirate down there, a space pirate, and we're going to kill him. And when we get done, we'll go back and I'm going to go home back to New Orleans and I'm going to eat some jambalaya. So let's go.
Jimmy, I want you to understand. I was on a team that managed to use an alien flower to allow 4 Brazilian men in a polyamorous relationship to genetically create a child who is 24% each of them, and then 4% alien plant DNA. So
that sounds like a thing to go, send that in to the TV networks. But right now we got a problem. Can we stop talking and do some work?
All right, let's go down to the captain.
Let's go down there. Let's go down.
Okay, great. So the way from the bridge down to the other floors is with an elevator. So everybody gets onto the elevator.
Do I have all my stuff, Warden? Like my equipment?
Yeah, I mean, within reason. I mean, do you have anything that's incredibly huge or that you might not be able to carry on your person?
Well, I've got a vibe shetty and a rigging gun. I got a flare gun. I got a first aid kit. I have a ton of shit.
Yeah. All right. Give me a combat test.
Combat test?
Yeah.
I did it. I got a 5.
Yeah, you brought it all with you. You brought it all with you. You were like, you never know. You always got to be prepared. All right.
Crazy shit, guys.
So everybody's going to get onto the elevator, and you're going to head down to the captain's quarters on the habitat deck. Is that correct? Is that what you're planning on doing?
I thought we were going to check in on where that shooting was coming from. My superior, who is in danger and requested me. And if they choose not to, that is where I'm going, because that's what my job is.
Jimmy, Doc's in charge. I don't think we should split up. That whatever that thing down there.
The Doc may be in charge of you, but she's not. She's not in charge of me.
I'm getting the captain. You do.
All right, you get the captain. I'm gonna go down there. Ain't nothing wrong.
Up, Doc.
You back up, Doc. Okay, I'm the one with this, and I'd like smack my SMG. So I'm gonna be all right. I got nothing to worry.
I just want to know, in the Marines, do they train you guys to defy orders from superior officers?
No, which is why my superior officer, who you heard the gunshot, is in danger.
You just said
who I'm going to say.
Superior officer, and that thing ate him up like he was a king.
We don't know, and you calling it a thing. I said it's a pirate. He could be just wrapped up.
It's a big pirate who just killed your superior.
We don't know if he's dead.
Okay, so you guys argue for a while you're in the elevator, but the elevator leads both down to the cargo deck where Jimmy wants to go to help Sohn, and it leads to the habitat deck above where you would find Captain Vitarello. And it looks like Matt is just trying to stay with everybody and convince everybody to stay together.
I think we should stay together, but if we can't do that and Jimmy goes on his own, I'm gonna to bodyguard Callista.
As a game master, I think we should stay together. But don't worry about it; it'll all work itself out. Right now, you're going down on the elevator, and you've been arguing on the elevator for a while, and you realize actually that the elevator, even though it feels like it's moving, it hasn't arrived at the second floor, the habitat deck, where the doctor was going to get off, and it's been moving for a while.
I don't remember the ship being this big.
Would I be able to fix the elevator with my heavy machinery or mechanical mechanical repair skills?
You would be able to. So what you could do is you could kind of open up a hatch and kind of look out and see if you can see what the problem is.
Okay, I have plus 10% on a trained skill. So what does that mean? What do I do?
I think that you roll your in this case call it your I'm going to call it your intellect. Add that 10%.
Okay, so 10% to intellect. All right, I'm going for it now. I got to go under a 46, and I did not do that. And then no, I did not do that. I got an 88.
Okay. Don't worry about it. Here's what I'll tell you. Here's what happens. Okay, you pop the top of the hatch to the elevator, and I got to let you know it is still moving as you're doing that. Okay. And you kind of try to reach up, and because you failed your mechanical repair, you almost catch your hand in some kind of apparatus that's moving out there. So you need to make a body save for me.
Okay. I made it. 13
Great.
under 30.
You pull your hand back and it's bleeding, but it's not truly damaged. You don't take any true health damage. And now the hatch is open, and you can see through the hatch, you can see that there are running lights in the elevator shaft and that the elevator is indeed descending. Why hasn't it arrived at the second floor? Would you like to look out into the shaft?
Yes.
Okay.
You're bleeding. Is that safe?
None of this is safe.
Okay. You climb up out of the shaft and you look up into the shaft. And even though the ship is a small to medium-sized expedition ship, when you look out into this elevator shaft, you see that it is now many thousands of feet up to where the top of it goes. You even lose sight of it. And the elevator seems to be traveling through a shaft that is hundreds and thousands of feet deep. Make a sanity save.
No, I did not make that sanity save.
Great. Then I would like for you to take, let's see, 2 points of stress.
All right, I now have 5 stress points.
Not great. Matt McGann comes back down into the elevator and he looks really shaken.
Guys, this elevator shaft is now multiple times longer than the ship is. So we're in some uncharted territory here. We're going down a bizarrely long shaft that shouldn't exist, and I'm freaking out.
I'm not trained about hyperspace, but can I just make a basic intellect rule about how much I understand physics?
You may.
Okay.
I make it a disadvantage because hyperspace is very hard to understand.
All right. My intellect is 56, and I rolled a 37.
Oh, great. Okay, but I want you to roll twice and take the higher of the 2 rolls because hyperspace is very hard to understand.
20, baby.
Ooh. Back went to school.
There's something going wrong with the ship's jump drive.
Okay.
Because some kind of strange hyperspatial anomaly is happening in the ship. And you guys are stuck on an elevator and you still haven't reached the second floor and you're not sure when you're going to.
Okay. The jump drive is fucked up, clearly. Crewman McGann, can you fix a jump drive?
Can you say that in English, Doc?
Well, I've seen it and I've watched them work with it. It's possible. I don't know. Warden, would McGann be able to fix the jump drive?
I mean, very, very doubtful.
Could I?
You better find someone who can. You better find someone who can, or come up with another plan.
I would know who that is, though, right? On the ship.
Yeah, certainly. So the head engineer is named Helen Langley.
Langley could fix one of these things.
That's right. But right now, I must tell you that the elevator is still slowly descending. You can feel the movement of the elevator. In fact, let's even say that there's music like da 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 da, and now it feels like it might be going on 10 minutes.
I don't understand how physics works. Like, should we try to get out of the elevator, or could that possibly throw us out of hyperspace and just leave us drifting through space?
Oh, where? We're just in the shaft. I mean, we could climb into the shaft.
Marine Doocy, like, have you ever been through anything like this before?
First off, it's Duce, and secondly, no, I have not been through anything. Usually, we get the eggheads taking care of all this stuff, and we just sit in the brig waiting to jump out when it's time to,
I'm not this kind of egghead, and unfortunately, I was married to a chemist. I mean, really, right now, it would have been fun to pick up some physics, but it's not something I do.
Marines do tell legends and rumors and urban myths about space. So you may have, Jimmy may have picked up like some stories about horrible hyperspace accidents.
I mean, the only thing I can truly think of is just tales you tell while you're sitting in, in the dining room, just exchanging stuff. But apparently there's sometimes when you're in hyperspace, it can really bend reality and make things that we never thought was possible. But that doesn't make any type of sense. I wouldn't believe it. And honestly, I just took it off of someone trying to get our goats.
I'm going to try to use my personal communicator to get in touch with Helen Langley.
Oh, great. So you have your own personal communicator as part of your loadout?
Oh, no. I just thought we had...
I do in the vac suit.
Oh, really? Okay. Oh, you have a vac suit on you as well?
Yeah.
Well, that folds up really neatly, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, it's the future where vac suits hold up very, very neatly. So do you want to try to get a hold of Helen Langley?
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, put on the vac suit. Yeah, this is crewman McGann. We need to talk to Helen Langley. There is a problem with the hyperdrive.
Boop. Suddenly you hear someone come on the line, and you literally are just hearing is that
you, Helen?
What?
Is that you, Helen?
It doesn't sound like speech.
Okay. I don't think Helen's there.
Can I use a linguistics roll to see whether it is speech or not?
You may make a disadvantaged linguistics roll because it doesn't seem like speech at all.
Okay. All right. I rolled a 30 and a 27.
That's under your linguistics.
My intellect is 56 and my linguistics is trained.
Oh, then it is. Yeah. You did excellently, and you determined that is in fact. It sounds like someone's speech if it were like rewound backwards or put through some sort of audio garbler, but it does sound like someone is trying to communicate.
All right, there's some time shit going on here. I mean, that sounded like speech, but maybe speech backwards. I feel like we may not be traveling through space-time in a consistent way with everyone on the ship.
So yeah, that sounds solid as your warden. I will say that you are still in this long shaft, traveling slowly. And do you want to attempt an escape, or do you want to see if you can wait it out, or do you have a third option I haven't thought of?
Well, one of my skills didn't work, which is mechanical repair. I also have heavy machinery. Is that cheating to get 2 cracks at it?
No, it's not cheating, but what are you trying to do? It seems like the problem, as the doctor has explained to you, is some sort of hyperspatial anomaly. It's not that the elevator's not working.
What?
The elevator's clearly working.
Okay, so nothing I can repair does anything. It's just time itself that would need to be repaired.
Have we considered maybe getting off this elevator? Whatever flow this is, just get off. I don't like being on a moving elevator that's being dealt with some weird time shit. So how about we get off?
I've got a little bit of concern that us moving through space-time in a way that is like inconsistent may tear our bodies apart or cause our cells to age with extreme speed or extreme slowness. God knows I could use some reverse aging on these lines. Yeah, do you want to try climbing out?
I got an idea here. I think we could at least see the spatial effects before we put a living thing up there. I got 7 MREs. I hate the peanut butter one. I say I throw that up in the shaft. We'll see if any effects just happen to matter by being outside of the space. Does that make sense to anybody?
That's a great idea. That's the scientific method.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm gonna see. You got to know a lot to be a union electrician. So I take the MRE and I whip it up into the elevator shaft and just see if anything happens to it.
It whips up at a normal arc, and it falls back down and smashes in between all of your feet at the bottom of the elevator.
Just like a regular thing would have done if I had thrown it.
Up, gravity down. Boom.
All right, so there's no weird spatial effects happening up there.
Sure. Right. I'm fine to climb out.
All right. Look, I'll lead the charge because y'all seem a little worried. So let the Marine take lead, and I just pull myself up and go through the shaft.
Okay. There is machinery out here you need to be careful of, but because you weren't trying to mess with it like Matt earlier, you are able to get up into the shaft, and now you must make a sanity roll, Jimmy, because now you are seeing that the shaft has somehow grown exponentially to where it's thousands of feet deep, and that can't and shouldn't be possible. Give me a sanity save.
You got it. Right. Let's. That's a 33. And where's my send? Nope, I failed it. 33. It was supposed to be a 25.
Okay, so you need to take 2 stress from viewing this, and now Dr. Lopez, are you also climbing out?
I want both of them to help me. This is not my thing, so Mr. Doucet, if you could take my hands, and Mr. Crewman McGann, if you could boost me.
Yeah.
All right, so the 2 gentlemen help Dr. Lopez out, and there's plenty of room to stand here on top of the elevator, and it seems totally operational. And you're wondering, where did the extra cabling and the extra machinery come from? This thing just kind of keeps slowly lowering itself, and it appears in perfect working order, but it is thousands and thousands of feet long. You must make a sanity roll, Doctor.
All right. It was a 49. I needed to make a 40, so no.
2 stress, please. Add 2 stress to your sheet. And now I need to know if people are climbing. Are they climbing somewhere? Where are we going? Are we going back up to the bridge? Or are we trying to climb down to the
Well, can I look over can I see over the edge of the elevator to see what the shaft below us looks like?
Sure. So looking over the edge, Matt McGann, you become a little dizzy because it is a dizzyingly long fall. I mean, the Grand Canyon
in
time.
both directions, it's infinite.
Yeah, it's infinite. But the good news is there is an easy to climb, little side ladder that you would be familiar with as someone who is licensed to repair these ships. That there's an elevator side ladder that people use.
Yeah, can I try to jump and grab the side elevator?
The side ladder?
Side ladder, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody that would like to start a climb can give me a strength roll.
Right.
Okay.
I failed.
I failed.
Okay.
I succeeded.
Okay.
35 under 43.
Okay. I am going to rule that those that failed just take another point of stress as they almost plummet into a bottomless abyss, but wonk, land on top of the elevator again, and it takes you several tries to get onto the ladder with Matt McGann, and you begin to descend. The elevator goes slightly faster than you're able to climb, so pretty soon it is far beneath you, and then your eyes can't even quite pick it out. And now, are you in a better situation? You are climbing slowly down a ladder, thousands and thousands of feet. After an hour passes, how's everybody feeling?
Yeah, when are we going to hit the bottom? This is taking a long time.
All bets are off, Jimmy. This is Freak Town.
Should we be going up? We probably should have just stayed on the elevator.
I have a flare gun. I'm going to shoot it up the shaft.
Crewman, is there any way of getting outside of this elevator shaft and into the life support systems or some sort of tubes? Are there any tubes around here?
Like die-hard shafts?
Are there any tubes?
Yeah.
You know that there actually are access hatches and things, Matt McGann, that people use to work on the elevator, but they are, usually near actually the doors that actually lead into the car or something like that. And right now, you don't see anything like that. So you just see kind of a portion of the shaft that would have been, between floors. And it goes on for a very long time. In fact, my friends, it goes on 3 hours you've been climbing, and now I need everybody to make a body save.
Ooh.
I failed that body save.
I failed that body save.
Oh, I felt that body save almost immensely.
The people that, all of you failed it. So you're all very hungry, you're all very thirsty, and you don't know how much longer you can hold on to the ladder that you've been climbing for 3 hours. So everybody takes 4 damage.
Can I eat? Jared, if being hungry is part of it, I can eat whenever I want. I have 6
I'm gonna give everybody a stim pack.
Oh, that's a good idea. If you do that,
I'm gonna give everybody food.
I have my own stim pack as well. So
okay, so if people are
Who's
popping
on stim
stim
pack?
packs, don't worry about the damage. Just take the stress, okay? Just take another stress. Did someone roll a double on that last roll?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so that's worth noting. If we roll a double, let you know.
Yes. Oh, if you do roll a double, whether it's a failure or a success, let me know, because that's a critical hit or a critical failure. Yeah.
Ooh, okay.
What am I?
You guys,
That's a sanity check.
What's that? No.
Oh, no, I just
Necessary. You already made your body check for just kind of exhaustion
Okay.
and
All right.
everything.
So what? We have one more stress point or 2?
You have one more.
Okay.
And I just want to remind everybody that's popping a stim pack right now. If you pop the stim pack, no need to take the damage. Your adrenaline is being kind of like revved up to where you're like, I could climb for another couple hours. But it do keep in mind that you all know that stim packs can get kind of addictive. So you want to be careful.
I had a little
when
problem in
time goes
college. I
back to
used to
normal, I'll
do
go to the doctor.
Wait,
Um,
Dr. Lopez had a little problem with the stim packs in college?
in college, yeah. I mean, like I got through it. My parents sent me to a place. It was cute. But I mean, it was just like 3 months my sophomore year. It wasn't like a problem.
You guys, I'm going to say normally a stim pack would grant you 2d10 to your health. But because you were kind of doing it to offset this exhaustion, I'm just going to rule that taking one now completely eliminates the need to lose the HP that I spoke of. And you guys also get 2d10 added to your combat for 1d10 hours, to your strength and your combat for 1d10 hours.
All right.
Okay,
So I will roll the how many hours, and you guys can each roll the 2d10 and add that. Roll 2d10 once each of you, and add that to your strength and your combat.
Okay. 15.
Okay, so add that to your strength and your combat.
Okay.
And
So everyone roll 2d10.
that's right.
I rolled a 7.
Okay, 7 gets added to your strength and your combat,
All right, 10 for me.
and a 10 for Jimmy Doucet, and that's going to last 6 hours. And luckily, lady and gentlemen, you only climb for another hour before you finally come to the shut doors, elevator doors of the habitat deck.
Okay. Crewman McGann, can you open this up?
Absolutely. I make a strength check. Is that how I do it? Or do I use repair?
Yeah, just make a strength check.
No, I'll use mechanical repair. That's better, right?
Oh, okay, sure.
All right.
Give me a strength and then add your mechanical repair to it.
Okay. I did it. Yeah, 27 plus 10. Oh wait, but how does that work? Because I get plus 10% if I have trained skill.
Yeah, I'll explain. So you take your strength score, which is what?
My strength score is 43.
Okay, then you'd add 10%.
No, I add 60 now because I added in the
How much is it total?
60.
Okay, great. And then you add the 10%. And then you're just rolling under that on a percentile dice.
Oh, I see. Okay, yeah. No, I totally did it.
Okay, totally. So McGann easily pops the doors of the elevator, and you were looking out to the eerily like sleep cycle lighted hallway of the habitat deck. And I can tell you that when you get off of the elevator, you know that that the corridor right in front of you leads to an airlock out of the ship. Probably not something you want to do while you're flying through hyperspace. There is a corridor to your right leading to the med bay. There is a corridor to your left leading to the cryo chambers where people undergo cryo sleep. Or you may head down a long corridor that's kind of around behind the elevators that leads to the captain's quarters, crew chief's quarters, and eventually to the barracks.
Who's in cryo?
Cryo, nobody right now. It's only a crew of like 10 or 11 people on this ship, and right now you're all active. Nobody, you weren't going on like a really deep space voyage right now.
All right. I'm going to run towards the captain's chamber.
Great. Let me see what happens when you do that. Okay. All right, no problem. You run around to the captain's chamber. So what there is a corridor, and the corridor goes down, and then it splits off to the XO's like private room and the captain's private room. Is everybody with Dr. Lopez?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
I come in like last because I don't run. I'm doing a tactical move forward.
I'm not paying attention to anything. I'm trying to get the captain.
Right, and I rolled to see what might have happened in that corridor, and luckily nothing did. So you roll around, you run around, and you're like double timing it, and you get to the split that leads to the captain and the XO's quarters, and you go to the captain's quarters, and the door to it comes open, and there you are in the captain's well-appointed, elegantly styled bedroom and sort of like office area.
Is the captain there?
The captain is not there as far as you can see.
What is her name?
Her name is Zoe Vitarello, Captain Vitarello.
I'm going to yell Zoe.
You yell Zoe and you get no response. I can tell you that this room contains all sorts of official documents on tablets and like various, you know, in Star Trek, whenever they needed a piece of paper, they actually had a little tablet. There's like a lot of that in here. Yeah. Technology doesn't make sense because it's science fiction. Like in our real world, eventually everybody would keep like 20,000 books on a tablet. But in sci-fi worlds, for each book is a separate tablet. That's what's going on in here. And there's also a bed. And there's also, she actually has a collection of antique books, meaning books that have like pages and spines and things like that.
I'm going to take a look through all of the tablets for anything that says jump drive or hyperdrive. And then I am just going to glance at what those old school books are, because Zoe's always been a mystery to me, and I'd like to understand her a little bit better.
Absolutely. So you pull a tablet that seems to have all the security passcodes for the ship on it. However, go ahead.
I'm going to shove that at McGann.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah, you just need the password to access the tablet that has all the passcodes. Basically, it's a manual for the ship that would include all of its different like manual overrides, but you don't know what Zoe's password is to get into it.
Okay.
Is there any kind of intercom, like general's all ship communications thing in here?
Well, one thing. Well, when you ask me about that, I will tell you that you look over and right at her bedside, the device that is her communicator, where you sent her a call, is still going. Blah, blah, blah. So
okay.
It looks like she never picked it up. And that device does have the capability of all ship communication.
Okay, I'm gonna see if anyone can talk not in garble time for whatever reason, now that we're on the ship itself and not in the shaft.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Let me see. So you're kind of doing it. Everybody can respond.
Yeah, just all hands. This is Crewman McGann. There's some kind of hyperdrive malfunction. There's some kind of life form in the cargo hold. Who is at their post and ready to assist?
Great. You finally get a response, and McGann, This is sick. There. Can you hear me?
Sorry, you cut
yeah.
out.
Yeah,
for a second.
yeah. I didn't know if it was part of the performance or.
Wouldn't that be great if I
Yeah.
was like, let me control you?
No, I didn't
no.
hear you cut out. It was like the
Okay.
first moment.
Great. And suddenly you hear, McGann, is it you?
Yeah,
it's
it's me.
Sickler. It's
Who?
Sickler. Jerry Sickler. He's
Jerry.
the ex-
Jerry, what's going on?
Have you seen them?
Negative.
The things.
Negative.
Don't let them touch you.
Explain what things.
Life forms.
Yeah, that's real vague.
They were on the cargo deck. I saw
Hold on,
them.
I'm trying to settle a bet. Were they pirates?
No, they're not human. I saw them touch Phillips.
What do they look like?
So many arms and eyes.
Would you say that they have two-way symmetry or five-way symmetry? So are we talking about like a starfish or like a person?
Fuck you, Lopez.
How many?
You brought him here. I know it.
Asshole.
You and
How
your
many?
attitude.
Calm down.
You think you're better than me?
Yes, I think I'm better than you, Jerry. You're an asshole.
And he hangs out.
You know, you didn't have to call him an asshole. He's trying to
Yeah.
say
Were y'all glad to get that like petty dispute out the way? So we got little information. And honestly, look, I've been in the Marines for a while now. Lots of people see things when they're going through a lot of stress.
He's a pirate with a big suit or something.
It could have been multiple pirates standing in a line.
Oh,
If it's multiple pirates in a line, I'll give you $500. How about that?
I'm sorry, Mr. Ducey. I tried to get information about what those things look like, all right? And he refused to answer me because he has never respected me because he's not great with women, okay? Like, Jerry's got issues that don't affect you, but they affect me.
Oh, no, I definitely know Jerry's got issues, which is why I don't believe him and this things thing.
I agree he's an asshole, but right now we need him to help us.
All right.
The door opens and Jerry Sickler's standing there with a revolver.
Okay, put the gun down. She called you an asshole. That's not a big deal. Come on. We got more shit to worry about.
I want to pull out my stun gun.
Yeah, Jerry, I have an SMG slung around my person. I'm going to ask you to put the gun down.
McGann?
Yeah.
The doctor brought something on board.
Well, whatever happened, happened.
At the last layover, at the last planet.
Okay.
He brought something on.
Yeah.
You say? People are turning into these things. We have to be careful, okay?
Okay.
So I just need...
Have you been bitten by something, Jerry? Did something bite you, Jerry?
Nothing touched me, okay?
Nothing touched you.
But I'm really freaking out here, okay?
I understand that. Could you put the gun down, please?
Please. I'm going to ask you maybe 2 or 3 more times. And then after that, I'm liable to shoot.
You can all turn into one of them.
Whoa! Stop waving it around.
I'm gonna try to use my bio skill. I don't have psychology, but I do have bio skill to just create a soothing voice and like chill Jerry out.
Hold on, MRE.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry about the way that I talked to you. We all want to solve this problem, Jerry.
I'll allow you to make a biology roll to give him sort of a quick kind of physical.
Okay.
If he'll allow it, you need to kind of ask him and talk to him about it.
Hey, Jerry, would it be fine if I just med scanned you really quickly? You seem not okay, and I want to help you. I'm so sorry about the way I was talking. This is very stressful for everybody.
Okay, check me.
All right. So I rolled a 17 and a 27.
His heart and pulse rate are extremely elevated.
Mm-hmm.
So he's extremely stressed. He's having like something almost like a panic attack.
Okay.
But I want everybody else to also make a stress test, which is, Clint, that means to roll a fear save, if I'm not mistaken, right?
That's right. Fear save.
Okay, great.
Adding any stress you have currently.
Oh,
Ooh.
to the roll, right?
Correct.
I did not make the fear save.
Not only did I not make the fear save, I rolled a 55.
Oh no.
Rolled a 55.
Okay, we're gonna come back to your critical miss in a second, Jimmy Doucet, but I think that you're about to roll panic. How did you do, Dr. Lopez?
I failed.
Okay. So those of you that failed, I think just need to take like 6 stress right now.
Jeez.
But if you failed your stress test with a critical miss, I'm going to go ahead and have you roll for panic. So to roll for panic, help me out. What do we do here? Okay, panic check determines whether you were able to keep cool under extreme pressure. So 1, you did your stress check, which you critical failed. Okay, so I should get this. Let's get this exactly right. Did you guys roll over your current stress, John or Guy?
Yeah, I rolled with my stress added in. I rolled over my 35 fear and failed the save.
Okay, so all right. So it seems to me that you don't panic. Okay. So, the only person who's going to be rolling for a panic effect is our friend Jimmy Doucet. So, Jimmy, I need you to roll 2d10.
Got him rolled. Got him shaking. Not gonna give me a number to hit. Just gonna see what the result is.
No, the
I
result.
want a panicky Marine.
There isn't a good number on this table, my friend. You just have to roll it and see what comes up.
24.
Okay, I'm bringing it up here. Let's see here.
Oh, this is like the wild magic table in D&D. There's
Oh,
there's
yeah.
no good
You
option.
got it, John. That's exactly what it is. 23 was your
24.
24. Okay. Oh my God.
That's not what you
If
want.
he rolled doubles again, was that a double crit fail?
No, 24. He didn't roll doubles again.
Okay, just making sure.
Okay. I'm gonna rule that this is what happened. This is what, because I don't like the response I got, but I'm gonna use one right beside it. Is that fair? It doesn't have to be. I'm the fucking warden.
Yeah.
You roll death drive, my friend. It means for the next XD10, for the next 3 days, whenever you encounter a stranger or known enemy, and I'm going to count our friend Mr. Sickler as part of that, you must make a sanity save or immediately attack them. Oh, and since a Marine just panicked, everybody else needs to make a fear save too.
Oh.
That's the roll.
Oof.
That's with the stress added in again?
No, just a fear save. Just a fear save.
I missed it by one.
I rolled a 6. I'm doing fine.
I
Okay.
missed it by
I'm
one.
a woman of science.
Okay. You missed it by 1. Then John, just take 10 more stress from this.
Oh, yeah, why not? Just 10.
Yeah, I mean, and then Jimmy, how'd you do on? Can you give me that final sand save?
Oh, do I have to do another one?
I'm gonna make you do a sand save right now.
Oh yeah,
based on the result you
so
rolled.
I don't blast. Yeah.
22 stress.
41. I failed that sanity save.
Jimmy opens up on Jerry Sickler.
Oh, my
Oh
God.
my God!
What are you carrying in terms of your? You have an SMG.
Yeah, I have an SMG.
Okay.
Oh, man.
All right. He's not really expecting the attack.
Oh,
And it's pretty close quarters, so you can roll your combat, but you can roll it with advantage because it's so close quarters when you just open up. And you can go ahead and go first, and then he'll go if he needs to, and then
Hey, Jared.
yeah.
Rather than advantage, Jimmy also he's an expert in close quarters combat. Why not just add that percentage?
Okay, that sounds good. So he's adding his close quarter combat percentage to his combat, and he's
Not to
firing.
mention the 10 that
Do
I
I-
have. So
I-
that
This is really a lot for. I realized he had very high blood.
so I have so 70 so 70 so
Can I
I have
try to
70
grapple
combat
Jimmy
right now
with
on this
athletics?
attack.
Here's the reason I made all these decisions for all of this to suddenly happen. It was like a stressful scene, and I realized that there needed to be stress tests, right?
Yeah.
When someone pulls a
Yeah,
gun
no,
on you.
it's fine. I just want to know, can I use my athletics to grapple Jimmy before he shoots Sickler?
Great question. Here's what we'll do. Everybody roll their speed.
Oh, I did it.
I
did
failed
not.
it.
18.
42.
I made my check.
18
did
out
not.
of what? 18 out of what? What's your total
Out
speed?
of 45.
Okay, great.
I did 42 out of 39, so I just barely missed mine.
Okay, actually, that means that it's actually going to go like this. All right. You see Dusay raise his weapon, aim, and start to pull the trigger, and now you can act, Matt McGann. Then
Okay.
it will actually go to Jerry, who also succeeded, and then it'll go to Dr. Lopez. How'd you do?
I failed, and I just want to get out of the way.
Great. So it's going to go like this. It's going to go Matt McGann can do something, then Jerry Sickler can do something, then Jimmy.
I'm going to use athletics to try to stop Jimmy from firing. I have 10% plus my 45 speed, so that's 55.
Okay, go for it.
Whichever. I don't know.
Is
try
it
to roll
speed or is it strength to strength?
Well, it depends. I mean, which one's going I have a 43 strength and a 45 speed. Is it strength to use
I want you to roll speed.
Speed. Okay, so 45 plus 10% is I need to beat a 55, right?
Yep.
All right.
Sounds right.
And I did. I got a 6.
Okay. You tackle the Marine before he opens up on Jerry Sickler. And now Sickler can do something because we said he would go next. So, McGann, you successfully just plow into Jimmy and you knock his gun wide. And you guys have kind of like fallen against the bed here in this room. And now Sickler he opens up with his revolver on whoever's left standing, which is the doctor.
Jesus.
Yeah, he's not a good guy. He
He's
failed.
an asshole.
Yeah, he fails. He fails his roll, and like bang, 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 throws up a couple of shots that miss you, Dr. Lopez. And now, Jimmy, you can do something.
I'm gonna toss Matt at the doctor who's shooting at Jimmy who's shooting at the doctor.
Okay.
I told you get off me. See, he's trying to shoot the doctor, our only friend or co-worker. And I rolled this is strength, right?
Yeah, strength, and you could use your close quarters combat because that hand-to-hand stuff.
Yeah, I rolled under just my strength period, so yeah, it's good to go.
You did awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so explain what you were doing. You were tossing Matt off.
Yeah, I
of
was
you into
going to
the
toss
bed.
Matt in the direction of Jeremy. Or
Okay. He's going to make
Jerry.
he's going to make a body save to try to get out of the way. And he's going to super fail that. So Matt pushes you out of the way, and then you push Matt on top of him, and everybody goes falling to the ground prone. So Jimmy's kind of leaning back against the bed, and McGann, you're on top of Sickler now. Let's see if he loses his revolver. He does. His revolver goes skidding across the floor. And now, Dr. Lopez, you can act.
I would like to pick up his revolver.
Dr. Lopez, you have the revolver now.
All right. Jerry, what the fuck is going on?
just shoot him. Just shoot him. Ain't no saving.
He's
Ain't
the
no
only
saving.
one who saw anything that's happened, and we can't have him dead right now.
Yeah. What do these aliens look like? These aliens.
Thank you.
They look like art.
Are you talking about like Kandinsky? Are you talking about like Paul Klee? What are we talking about here? Like, are they abstract impressionists? Is this like a Seurat quantilist kind of thing.
We really doing this art debate. We really think that he looks like art. That's what we're gonna do here.
Yeah, they look like Thomas Kincaid, the fucking master of light. Can we get something practical here?
He seems to have gone catatonic. Like he won't kind of stop just staring into space and sort of sobbing. If someone has psychology, they might be able to get him out of that.
I don't have psychology, but I have biology, which is on the road to psychology. So can I just try to slap him around and get him back with some?
I have a first aid kit. There might be smelling salts or some shit in that.
If you have any more stim packs, that is the only thing that would maybe get him talking again. But you better have like a good idea of what you're going to ask him, because it's also going to boost his strength and stuff like that.
I don't necessarily want to waste a stim pack on Jerry. He's an asshole. He's probably going to die. Can I have your first aid kit?
You can use first. You can try first aid on him if you'd like.
Yeah, here you go.
Okay. So I'm gonna attempt first aid with a first aid kit.
Okay, go for it.
And I rolled a 99.
Ooh, okay, so that is a critical fail.
Yep.
And you give him you're not a medical professional yourself, are you, Dr. Lopez?
No.
So you give him what you thought are pain pills, which actually reduce stress in this game, but what you've actually given him are sleeping pills.
Okay.
And now he seems to have gone completely under.
Okay, that's fine. Let's leave Jerry here. Apparently, we need to go to the cargo hold. Is there anything else we should try to pick up in the captain's quarters before we go? What are those bookie books?
Oh, okay. You notice that she was actually a fan of old antique art books. That open with the big full color illos of famous paintings and things like that. And she seems to have been particularly a fan of Picasso.
Oh, okay.
Is there anything in the tablet books about alien life forms or anything like that?
No, I mean, what you're looking at are a lot of logs, and then what Dr. Lopez handed to you earlier is the ship's manual, which would contain all the manual override.
I want to look up hyperdrive in the ship's manual.
You cannot get access without knowing the passcode.
Try Guernica.
Okay, I'm going to try all sorts of Picasso shit.
Yeah.
You try Guernica, and it immediately opens.
Haha, nice. Good stuff.
And what you find, you find that there is a code that manual overrides the jump drive. It is a long numerical code, but it is in there.
Okay.
And you also find a bunch of notes about the fact that the ship has just been refitted with an experimental jump drive. And now you guys start to think that aliens in hyperspace would be even weirder than, aliens in normal space. And it's pretty frightening.
Can I pull us out of hyperdrive from the captain's room?
No, absolutely not. No,
okay.
There's a bed and a table in here. There's no control.
Is it possible to do a cursory search for any supplies or anything that I might, be able to use, or anything that might be useful?
Sure. Yeah, give me just a intellect roll, and let's see if you find anything useful.
Just barely missing. It's a 31. I rolled a 35.
Okay. No, you find books, pillows, personal keepsakes, her hygienic stuff, and her.
What kind of hygienic stuff does she have?
She uses a Eucerin face cream. She has a nail file and nail clippers. It's going to get even more boring. You want me to continue?
I would like to moisturize just to chill myself out.
Oh, okay. I normally wouldn't do this in a sci-fi horror game, but because it's Guy Branum playing this particular character, you take off one stress for moisturizing.
Thank you.
Doc, I got an idea here. if these art pirates are from hyperspace,
Mhm.
and maybe if we pull the ship out of hyperspace, that might be detrimental to them the way we were freaking out in the elevator. Maybe pulling the ship out of hyperspace might give us an advantage.
So do we need to go up or down? And also, how do we do that in a way that doesn't take infinity time?
The jump drive is on the final floor, the one that Jimmy was originally headed to go help Soane Phillips. It's on the cargo deck. So you need to figure out some way to get down there if that's where indeed you're going. But I will add one more thing, and you guys would all be aware of this. Shutting down the jump drive means that it may leave you in the middle of nowhere. And in space, we're talking light years and light years of nothingness between you and anything else.
Before we go up or down, since we have figured out that horizontal travel is like doable, should we go check out the barracks or the med bay to just get supplies, or see if anybody else is like a person?
Definitely, we should. I'm equipped, but we should get y'all equipped at the barracks, because if we're up against some aliens or pirates standing in a straight line, I'm gonna need y'all to have some SMGs. So we got those are standard issues, and I should be able to outfit y'all and give you a cursory rundown on how things work.
Great.
So you're gonna leave Jerry Sickler here on the bed and head to the barracks. Is that correct?
Yeah.
I'm going to spit in Jerry's eye. I've got a lot of issues from my ex-husband that I reapplied to Jerry. I'm just going to slowly spit in his eye before I leave.
Understood. And you do that. And do you do it surreptitiously or in front of everyone?
Surreptitiously. I don't need them to see they're freaked out enough.
Good. Okay, so no extra stress tests or anything from that. When you exit the captain's quarters, you can see the corridor over to the XO's quarters with the door now open. You know where he is. He's in the captain's quarters where you left him. And you can exit out into the hallway and head toward the barracks, which would be a left turn when you get out to the main corridor. Is that what you would like to do?
Hey, guys, wait up for a second. Can I run into Jerry's room and just get some ammo for his gun?
Yeah, let's go there together. We need to travel everywhere together at this point.
Is that close? Jerry's
room?
It is.
It's right there. It's right beside the captain's room. You go in there and a cursory search and like a bedside table. He's the kind of guy that keeps ammo on his bedside table, and you find plenty of ammo for it. You find 12 shots for it.
All right, so I'm going to load his gun and take the rest.
Okay, great. It's a revolver and it's like a 6-shooter, so it can, hold 6 rounds at a time.
Dr. Lopez, Jerry, before he went under, said something about you knowing that there were aliens on the ship from our last port of call. Is there anything to that?
Yeah, I did kind of just move beyond that.
Warden, is there anything to that?
Is there anything about aliens being on the ship?
Jerry said she knew that he accused her of having brought the aliens on board. I wondered if she had any knowledge of that.
Dr. Lopez, you have been testing the efficacy of different medical innovations created by the WIN AMF Corp. And in different hyperspatial conditions. You have not gotten to do any fun xenobiology on this trip so far.
No, absolutely. I mean, I was just testing, like auto appendectomy nanobots in hyperspace. I wasn't figuring out like anything fun or cool.
Doc,
yeah.
In English.
Remove a point of stress for being so on genre. Okay, so let me know when you're heading back out to the main corridor to go to the barracks. I can tell you that the Exos room is, kind of sad. It's like a sad, divorced dad room.
Jerry.
That's why he reminds me of Quattro. All right, yeah, let's just go back towards the...
Okay. You walk out into the main corridor, and you can see if you turn to the left, you'll go around a corner and you'll come to the barracks. Is that where everybody's heading?
Yeah.
Okay. As you turn the corner toward the barracks, you hear a very loud whimpering and sort of like grunting coming from the barracks. It sounds kind of like,
Helen? Helen, are you okay?
The barracks door is shut, and you hear that sound clearly coming from the barracks.
Fellow officer, we're coming in to the barracks. Please make yourself decent. Please cancel any and all activities that may be going on. We're entering with a lady.
I'm getting out my trank gun.
Jimmy assumes that his fellow Marine Adler is just in there masturbating. Hopefully he's right. Who is opening the door, or is anybody opening the door?
I'll open the door.
What the Marines are trained for.
Yeah. So I'm opening the door to, do a room. The classic. You open the door, gun out, ready for it, action.
Okay, you hit the pad on the side. The door comes open, and immediately, like a pool of blood pours out onto the corridor floor, and you're looking at like a big, huge, like wall of pink flesh. Would you like to look deeper into the room?
Yeah, but I'll turn and to Matt and Lopez. Doctor, hold on one second. There's some weird stuff. It seems like some piracy might be at work.
I want to figure I want to figure out what this blood is, and I want to look at the flesh and see if it seems like flesh that I understand.
Can we see
Okay, great. We're gonna do all those things. I first want Jimmy to make a fear save again.
Just I swear to God, I was supposed to hit a 30. I hit a 32.
Okay, you missed it. So I'm going to go ahead and add. Yeah, that sounds right. 5 more stress to your total.
All right.
You're not panicking yet, but you might do so again soon. Remember, actually, you're in death drive. Anytime you meet something new, you need to make a sanity roll for me to find out if you attack it.
Oh.
So you have met something new. That's definitely going on here. Go ahead and make that sanity roll.
65 really failed.
Okay, so Jimmy opens the door. This wall of quivering flesh and blood meets him, and Jimmy, you just open up with your SMG like, ah!
I told you pirates to stay away from this shit.
In the aftermath of that, after you, I'm going to say, emptied out your gun, like click, 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 like you just sit there shooting until you hit click. There's even more blood everywhere. There's blood on your face. There's blood pooling out on the floor. And now, if the doctor would like to make an investigation of what was beyond that door, she may do so. I need fear saves from both McGann and from the doctor, because a Marine just went nuts.
I did not make that fear save.
I failed.
Okay. Both of you take 2 more stress.
All right. What is where does the stress end up taking us? Like, what's the magic number? Does it matter? I got 24 right now.
You've got how much?
24 stress points.
Great. No problem. Basically, when you eventually panic, and panic can be caused in a lot of different ways, that total will make it harder for you to keep from panicking.
Okay. Also, just Teamsters, once per session, a Teamster may re-roll a roll on the panic effect table. Just
Your character hasn't panicked yet, but you can re-roll later.
For the future, that's a rule. I'm reading that right off the sheet.
I want to take a sample of this blood, and then I want to investigate that flesh.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and allow you to roll biology when you look at this.
Okay. So I rolled a 50. My skill is 56, and I'm an expert on this.
Yeah, you did excellently. And in fact, you're instantly sure that this is human.
Okay.
This is all human blood. And when you go a little farther into the room, suddenly this big wall of pink flesh part of it opens and a huge human eye turns up into an enormous human skull. Whoever was in here has apparently expanded to an enormous size to where their skeleton could no longer support them, and the entire barracks is filled with a person that is grown to giant size and collapsed under their own weight.
Does it look like Marine Adler to me?
It does.
Oh.
Adler, talk to me. Talk to me.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen, Jimmy.
Confirm or deny whether or not this is pirate work. That just happened.
I'm gonna
know some pirates are into some gross shit.
I'm gonna scalpel off some of this flesh and take the flesh as well.
Okay, you do so. And what I will tell you is that, yeah, you're all really disturbed by this, but you've already added stress for seeing it, so we're going to keep moving. The barracks seem impassable. There is a human body that has grown to be about 20 feet tall and then collapsed under its own flesh, filling the barracks room. So in terms of getting more weaponry, you could try climbing under there.
Machete?
Yeah.
Could I just try to hack my way through the flesh towards where the guns are?
I don't see why I wouldn't let you. That sounds like too much fun to not allow. I'm going to go ahead and have you make it. That sounds like just strength to me.
Okay.
But
that's my 2d10 added in because of the stim pack.
That's right. Yeah, that stayed for a couple hours, 6 hours.
Okay. I
want to stop him from doing it, and you go. This was my colleague. Let me do the chopping.
Oh, you have.
If we want to chop, I got to chop. If we want to chop, I got to chop.
I did the thing though. I hit a 10. I went way under.
All right, then you can chop. But
hey, I just start hacking through Adler's pus pills.
So, workman-like, our friend McGann is just sawing through the body to try to get to these guns. And, I mean, that's a good roll. So eventually you reach 3 gore-besotted SMGs clotted with clumps of organs and viscera.
Got you some guns, guys.
I already have one, so y'all. That's all y'all.
I'm gonna take the pistol.
She's gonna say, "Okay." Then I grab an SMG
and my trank gun.
Okay.
Well, can I ask, are SMGs better than my rigging gun in terms of damage?
I think that they are. They also can. But do you have military training?
I do not.
So
I do. I do have military training. I did take that. Yes.
Nicely done. Okay. So yeah, you get to fire from it 3 times and do an enormous amount of damage. People that don't have military training on a submachine gun have trouble not just emptying out the chamber when they fire it. Okay, so now where would you guys like to go? Would you like to go?
Before we go down, I want to go to the med bay and just try to run a quick test on this flesh and figure out what's going on.
Can't stop the doc from her experiments, huh?
So the med bay's back the way you came. I will also let you know that here beside the barracks, there is a corridor with yet another elevator that leads down. This is a different elevator than the one you took before that leads down to or up to, or actually it does not lead up to the bridge. It only leads down to the cargo deck.
A warden question. It took us way longer walking down the ladder than it did. If we were in the elevator, would that get us there quicker?
I mean, who knows? I mean, who knows how these hyperspatial anomalies work? I'm just letting you know that there are 2 elevators right now. But do you want to head back to the med bay?
I mean, I would like to figure out what's going on with this flesh.
Okay, great.
Are you guys cool with that?
I mean,
Jimmy, you're a Marine. Is there some kind of protocol we're supposed to follow in this situation?
I mean, we've stopped following protocol the minute that I left my commanding officer to die in the cargo bay. So I'm just following y'all at this point.
All right, Doc, I'm with you.
Okay. So when you head back into the main corridor, back the way you came, the med bay being all the way off of that first elevator you exited, you notice something. You notice that there is a corridor before you get to the elevator leading off to the right. And you also realize that that corridor was not there last time you were on this deck. So I need everybody to make another SAN save.
Yes, I did it.
I failed.
I failed yet again. 98.
Wow. Just take one extra stress and let me know if you'd like to explore this new corridor.
I feel like we should just. I would feel more comfortable understanding what's happened to this flesh and what's happening to these people. But what do you guys think? I don't understand space.
Like I said, we're following you, Doc. So go ahead.
Yeah, you're number 3 in command of the ship, and well, Jerry, he was number 2. He's asleep like a baby, and nobody knows where the captain is. So you're in charge.
Can I take an intellect roll as to whether I think this is a good idea?
Going to the med bay to study this stuff?
No, going down this corridor. Like
A common sense roll. Yes, you may. But first, tell me, is Callista Lopez someone with a lot of common sense, or is she a bit head in the clouds?
No, I don't think she has a bunch of common sense. I think that she is somebody who, in finding new data, like the fact that this is new information, it will potentially be appealing to her. But I also think that the med bay, that's the game that she understands the best. So, yeah.
I think that you need to go to the med bay. I think that that's what your heart is telling you.
All right, let's go to the med bay.
You normally do your work in the science lab one deck lower, but you are going to enter the med bay, which should have some of the things that you need. You can't do a full genetic test on it in the med bay, but you can kind of look at the cells and stuff like that. So you open the pad in the med bay, it comes open, and you guys are all surprised by what you see there as well. The ship, the Tradewind, has a laser cutter on the front of it that's used for various operations in space, digging into asteroids and things like that. Right now, the laser cutter room looks like it is overlaid over the med bay room, so that pieces of the laser cutter apparatus, which are in a room in the cargo deck, are like poking up through tables in the med bay. Pieces of it are coming out of the wall in the med bay.
We got to shut this hyperdrive down. I don't care if we end up in the middle of nowhere. We're going to end up folding into each other if we don't.
Yeah, that corridor back there may go down to the 3rd level. Let's go back to it.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, so they exit the med bay immediately and they run back down the corridor. And okay, when you come around the corner again, you are all gasp in horror at the fact that now the corridor stretches for endless yards, miles, far, far down to where you don't even see the next turnoff toward, the crew and chief quarters or anything like that. So you, unless you want to walk for a long time, first of all, SAN rolls from everybody. And then, unless you want to walk for a long time, you're going to need to head back and go through the cryo chambers or take one of the elevators or do your work in the med bay.
So our options that aren't super elongating Doctor Strange Town is the med bay, the cryo
chambers,
chamber, and
there's an elevator back in that direction.
And that elevator goes down.
Yeah, that was the one you were in earlier, though, that caused you some problems.
It takes forever. I'm like, we can go into the cryo chamber. I'm just scared of going into that med bay because the laser cutter is there. And what if I turn something on and like?
I agree. I don't want to do that. So let's go in the cryo chamber. But what are we going to do there? We're going to try to test.
Well, actually, the way you remember, McGann, there's the cryo chamber you can walk through. You can walk through it all the way into the corridor that leads over around near the barracks and the galley.
Yeah, let's go through the cryo chamber and get to that other elevator and try climbing down or taking the elevator down.
Where are the controls that would shut off the hyperdrive?
They are on the cargo deck, one floor lower.
And the only way to get one floor lower is one of the elevators. And one of them is stretched out infinitely in front of us, and the other one is stretched out up and down infinitely.
There is a corridor that has stretched out.
One is one infinite corridor away from us, and the other elevator is infinite elevator shaft.
But we can go back around through the cryo chamber to get to the elevator that may be working.
That's right.
First
of all, how did your sand rolls go from seeing this infinitely stretched corridor?
I failed.
I made it. Just another day in the office.
One more stress for the people that failed. And are we now running back around to the cryo chamber? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. You run back around to the cryo chamber, and when you get to it, you open it up with the pad on the side. It opens, and you are looking at the cryo berths. They are in the largest room to give everybody room to kind of get undressed and get into these like big, translucent pods that can put you in suspended animation for a while. And you can move right through here. And as you do, you notice that the room, unfortunately, seems a little bigger than it did before. And you are counting, there are 11 crew members, and you are looking at 22 cryo berths in this room.
Okay, everything's going haywire.
I'm going to start running.
You're just going to run through?
Try to run all the way through. Maybe close my eyes.
Okay, great. How about the rest of you?
I'm going to still tactically move forward. I'm not running anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not running, but I'm following the captain, SMG out, covering.
Yeah, same.
McGann
what I'm doing.
McGann and Doucet need to make fear saves.
Oh.
I did not make that fear save.
Oh, I actually made mine.
Okay, so here's what happens. You're fine. You take a point of stress, McGann. You're fine, Jimmy. You move through tactically, following Dr. Lopez, who runs through. McGann, you are trying to kind of like run through as quickly as you can, but you look into one of the cryo berths and you see Dr. Callista Lopez in one of the cryo berths.
Doc, you might want to come see this.
I'm going to open my eyes and spin around. What?
You ever thought about what it'd be like to hang out with yourself? You might get the chance.
What kind of question is that?
I'm going crazy too here. This is you in the cryo chamber. When did they throw you out? Months ago?
This is some kind of like temporal anomaly. We just need to get downstairs.
Oh, I agree.
That's me from the past to the future. We just have to fix the drive.
Are two heads better than one?
Did you look at yourself in the cryo berth, Dr. Lopez?
No, I'm not going to look at myself. I don't.
If we thawed you out, would we have twice the brains?
I honestly, I don't love mirrors.
Yeah, that could cause a time contradiction too. You don't want a time contradiction.
Yeah.
No double docs.
Yeah, that's going to be a time contradiction. You heard of it.
All right, I'm just saying. Maybe she's smart. Maybe two of her.
I know, but do we want to deal with a pair of docs? No, we don't.
Look, I minored in literature as an undergrad, and I was acquainted with a really rich text from the past called Gemini Man, and it really points in a direction of it's not great to look at other versions of yourself.
Okay, and you're the doc, so I think we'll just head on through the cryo chamber then.
That's great. You guys move. It sounds like you're moving through, and avoiding any more brain fuckery because you've already taken huge stress levels. In fact, I think I was giving it out wrong earlier, to be honest with you. Okay, so you move through the cryo chamber, and now you are in a corridor that leads to the second elevator. the barracks, which you already visited. So you've come all the way around in a circle. And there is another chamber leading off to the galley or the kitchen. So tell me where you'd like to go.
Crewman McGann, I defer to you.
I think we need to fix this hyperdrive.
Yeah.
But
it's on one level down.
Should we take the elevator or climb?
Well, if there's a chance to take the elevator, I feel like that's faster than climbing.
You feel like that's faster? Like what we were dealing with at the beginning of all this? You think that's
here's what I
fast?
know. We got on the ladder and we saw the elevator go down under us very quickly. Then it took us 4 hours to climb down the ladder. Now, I don't know how time works, but it just seems like the elevator got there quicker.
Okay.
Let's just try the elevator again. I mean, different spots are probably experiencing different things. We didn't gigantify like Marine Adler did. Who knows what's going on?
That is very lucky.
Yeah,
The elevator doors open and you can step inside. Does everybody step inside?
Yep.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, I guess so.
The elevator starts to go down to the cargo deck and bing, it arrives in less than a minute.
Sweet.
The door comes open. You are now looking at a corridor. If you go in one direction, you will go toward the laser cutter room and the life support room. And then that corridor keeps leading around to the engine and eventually to the jump drive. Or you could go in the other direction and it would lead you past the science lab and into the cargo hold. And then there is a walkthrough through the cargo hold into where the engines and the jump drive and such are located.
No to the cargo hold. That's where Sloan got murdered by the pirate.
I mean, with the science
lab is
in that direction, I could figure out what's going on with like this flesh, at least in the science lab.
Yeah. So, but isn't that the way? That's the first way, right?
Like, I'm just gonna follow you. Like at this point, I'm just gonna follow you.
Okay, but I'm asking the warden. There's a way that hits us to the science room on the way to the first route. Hits the science room on the way to the.
Let me see if I can show you guys. I'm not sure if I can. But
No,
basically, yeah. So you got this little elevator right here. Can you see that?
Yeah.
And you guys could go around. Guys could go around down to here. You still have to kind of catty corner through the cargo hold, but there's the jump drive right there.
I see.
Or you could go around the kind of the long way and go through the center of the cargo hold and through the engine over to the jump drive.
Well, the science room is right next to us, right?
It is, yes.
Well, let's go in there first and let Dr. Lopez check the flesh.
Okay.
And then we'll all three go to the jump drive, but avoid the cargo hold.
Yeah, no problem.
Sounds good.
You go into the science lab, and you once you enter, it seems to be the same as you know it. So
I'm just going to take a breath. This is my safe place.
Yes. There's like a chemistry station. There's a geology and planetary science station. And then there is a biological station, which contains all kinds of odd things like various stimulants and chemical, medicines, but also like tanks to put plant organisms, fauna, and things like that. And there's a genetic testing station. Would you like to? What are you going to do?
I'm going to test Adler's blood and flesh.
Okay, great. So you put Adler's blood and flesh into a more advanced version of the medical scanner. Really, it looks a little bit like a big, fancy microscope, and it does like a scans it with all these like little lasers, and it tells you that it is a 100% genetic match for Homo sapiens, human. That it shows no cancerous growth. It shows no abnormalities at all.
And they're diet healthy.
It is searching files, the computer is, and it comes up, ping, Marine Adler.
All right. So this is some shit that I'm not prepared to understand. Is there anything from either the chemistry station or the genetic station that I would like, a nice explosive that I would like, or like I'm gonna take like some stimulants and some explosives.
It's easy to find an explosive if you give me a chemistry roll, because this isn't an armory, so they're not labeled explosives.
Okay. I have chemistry and my intellect is 56, but I failed.
Okay, so you were rolling like a intellect 56 plus your chemistry, which would make it like 66, and you still failed?
I rolled an 82.
Okay, no problem. You grabbed some chemicals that you think would kind of blow up if you just kind of threw them someplace.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll see if it works.
Yeah. And what's next? Because I'll tell you what's next. You hear out in the hallway while you guys are all in here.
Oh, is it Zoe? Zoe!
Does it sound like
does Zoe sound like that all the time?
Zoe sounded like that when we talked to her on the communicator.
Not down with okay.
The door flies open, and the creature walking toward you, let me describe it, and let me describe it carefully. Okay. The tattered jumpsuit on this organism has rearranged itself into a colorful net. 5 arms, 2 fingers per hand, 2 legs, 2 feet, and 8 eyes have multiplied on the side of its mouthless face. It begins reaching toward all of you. You are in the science lab in pretty close quarters. I want a speed roll from everybody.
I made it.
Okay. And how did everybody? Did everybody make it?
Hold up. Yeah, I made it. Finally made it.
You guys can all do something before this thing does something. So let's go in the highest speed order, or it doesn't really matter. It's just your
Jimmy
side act first. So who would like to act first?
Jimmy has to attack it.
I would like to aim the Exo's pistol at it.
Oh wait, before anything, don't I have to do my sanity?
Oh yeah, you do. Yeah, you do.
So let's. It's a 92, so I definitely failed that.
Okay, so Duce is still in death drive. So what is everybody's speed? Duce, what's your speed?
I my speed of the number value is actually 39, and I rolled a 32.
That's great. I'm just trying to see who goes first here. And McGann?
My speed is 45, and I rolled a 24.
And Dr. Lopez?
My speed is a 31, and I rolled a 30.
Okay. So, McGann, you can do something first.
I have the SMG in my hand, and I've got military training, and my combat is enhanced because of the stim pack to a 56. I'm sorry, a 51. I'm just going to fire at it.
Okay, so you're going to roll your combat stat versus this creature's armor. Okay.
Okay.
And I can tell you that its armor is 39.
And mine is 56. What do I do? I roll?
So you're rolling your combat, and you're adding your if you do you have firearms or you have military,
I have military training, and I have which is a 10%. And
okay,
then,
add that.
Okay, so I'm trying to roll to 66 would be my modified, or I'm at 61 would be my modified combat roll with impact. All right. And I did not make it.
Okay. So it seems like your shot is like your bullets are going right into this thing, and bullets are having no effect on it. It's like basically like the bullets are going in and then going out of it, like nothing's happening. And now it is our death driving Marine's turn. We can do 2 things on a turn. I'm sorry, Ify. John, you can do 2 things on a turn in a combat round. Would you like to do something else?
I'm just going to do that again because statistically, I do have as good a shot as anything.
Go for it.
All right, and this time I got it. I got a 40. So
you got a 40, but you didn't get under its armor stat.
Even with even with all the bonuses, it doesn't matter.
Clint, am I understanding that correctly? That he has to roll underneath the creature's armor stat?
Secret Warden. Secret Warden.
Secret Warden. Did you hear me? Okay.
Oh, here he comes.
Oh, an opposed check. Okay, so I roll under. See if I roll under the stat, and I do big time, super duper. So,
okay.
So you attack and you rolled well. You succeeded, but I rolled even better than you under his armor. So again, and the bullets just sort of seem to go spatially around this thing in a weird pattern. And it lurches toward you. Its 8 eyes blinking in a beautiful symphony of weird moving eyeballs. And suddenly it is our Marine's turn. What would you like to do?
I'm gonna look over at McGann and say, "Let me teach you how to shoot. This is how they do it over where I'm from." And I rolled a 93, so that's definitely a fail.
Well, wait. Let me roll his. Yeah, you missed.
It's some pirate.
Again, you guys are good shots. So you're like, but the thing is just like the bullets are like going around it in weird arcs. It's like it alters space right near it. That's the type of armor it has.
All right, and I can take another shot, right?
Yeah, you can go for it.
All right, I'm gonna do it, and only if I succeed will I say what my winning idea is. Oh my gosh! Hold on, let me re-roll. That fell. Jeez Louise, hold on. Actually, well, I definitely failed with a 92, but this is under because right now I'm at a 70 and this is 62. And so I say, we're not dealing with the regular reality now. We're using with different realities. So I'm not going to aim at it. I'm going to just try and miss on purpose. And so I try and shoot this around it as if I'm trying to not hit it.
Okay. This is your second shot and you haven't rolled yet? You did roll, but you succeeded.
I did roll and I succeeded.
Okay. So I'm still going to roll its armor, but that is such a good idea that I'm going to let you roll again and take the better of the 2 rolls.
Okay.
So I'm letting you roll with advantage.
Okay. That first one was better, the 62.
Okay, no problem. Okay. So you succeed, and this thing just rolled a 66 on its armor save. So its armor save is lower than that. So basically, Ducey is like, we're not in the real reality. Like shooting into the air. And ricochets go flying back and forth. But this thing, like, suddenly accidentally, like, sucks the bullets into it. And, like blood bursts forth from its fleshy chest, and now do your weapon's damage rating.
Okay. Where do I find that? Because I don't have it on my sheet.
I can help you with that. No problem.
I have an SMG.
Right.
An SMG. Okay, no problem. I will find it for you, sir. 1 second. Here we go. I think. Here we go. Yes. That is going to do 4d10 damage right now.
Okay. Oh, wow. All right. Let's go with the singular boys. All right, let me go with one of the ones I like right here. Boom. Oh, shoot. All right. So that's going to be 19.
19.
Yeah.
That's a lot. That's more than half of its HP, and so the thing now like is going to make like a its own type of panic test that it makes.
Okay. Oh no, I don't need this thing panicking.
Okay, and it succeeds, so it can keep acting for a little bit longer. It doesn't like go down, and it is now its turn, and so it is going to attack. Wait
Wait, did it have better speed than me?
It did, yeah. It did. What did you roll again?
You sounded so sad about it.
30.
You rolled a 30. Yeah, it rolled really well in its speed
Okay.
roll, and it has exceptionally high speed. That's the
Okay.
thing it has. That and like weird, great armor. All right. So here it comes. It's going to attack. I mean, it's going to attack the guy that just put a bunch of bullets in it and figured out how to get at it. So it is making a close quarters combat attack against you.
Luckily, that's my specialty, weirdo.
Now, if here's your choice. You can choose to take the damage by rolling your armor save. Meaning, if you succeed at rolling your armor save, you don't take any damage. But basically, you're just letting your armor take the hit. You can choose to use a combat check to just counterattack it immediately. You'll get another attack on it right now. Or you can use a body save, which would mean that you're using, and you can add your close quarters combat to that to kind of like dodge the attack. Which are you going to do?
Ooh, I definitely want to go for the counter. I want to take this guy out.
Okay, he's going to try to, if he hits, he's going to do his damage first. Let's see how he does. Okay, so this guy failed his combat check. So the 5 arms, each with 2 fingers, like come at you, and they're like coming down on you, and you just kind of like he just can't quite reach you. He's got blood draining out of his chest, and now you can make your counter attack.
Okay, so once again, I get the 15 plus the 10, so that's a 25 on top of my 45, making it 70. And that's a delicious 26. And so what I do is like, nice try, and I like attack away from it. Yeah,
you attack like in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
and again, it's like a weird spatial anomaly. Like, let's see how it does on its armor save. Oh, its armor save works. It's learned your fucking tricks now, Marine. You say. So the bullets start to go toward it and then fly off again in weird directions, and it is not a hit. And now it is Dr. Callista Lopez's turn.
Does this look like anybody we know?
Dr. Callista Lopez may roll as a free action an intellect roll.
And I make it.
This is Helen Langley. The hyperspatial anomaly has rearranged her in some horrible way.
So this is the engineer. I would like to say, when you said Helen's name, I decided that I had engaged in like a summer camp lesbian relationship with Helen that was sort of like a first time for me, not for fucking Helen. So like this is like emotional for me. But I would like to just shoot at this thing.
Oh, really? Well, I would say if you've actually had a relationship with this person, I'm going to need a fear save before you shoot at her.
Okay. All right. But it was a nice clean 16.
Then you don't take any stress, and you're like, sayonara, Helen, and you fire at her.
Okay.
So please roll your. Now you don't have. You just roll your combat, because I don't believe you have any firearm skill.
I don't, and I failed.
She also fails her armor save, but it's immaterial because you failed your firearms combat save. And then we come back around to Matt McGann again.
You know what? I'm just going to keep trying with the gun. I don't want to get in close with the vibrochetti, so I'm just going to go back. I'm going to hit him again with the submachine gun.
Okay, go for it.
Right.
Roll your attack.
30. I got it. I hit him.
But the creature that was formerly Helen rolled under their armor save as well. How much did you succeed by?
I succeeded with my bonuses on the combat and the military training. I succeeded by 29 points.
Okay, I think that because I succeeded on the armor save, you still don't do damage. Is that correct, Clint? I believe that that's right. So, but I'm going to go ahead and let you do a little bit of damage. Well, yeah, go ahead. Okay,
What?
he's looking it up.
Okay.
I believe that you still don't do damage because if they get their armor save,
right? We get 2 attacks. 2.
Yeah, you do. You want to go again? Go for it.
Go again. Yeah, and this one hit too.
Okay, let's roll the
9.
armor save.
One.
Wait, this time it failed its armor save, so you can do your damage. It's 4d10 for an SMG.
40-10. All right. Let's get all these pretty little dice and see what we got. 8 plus 10 plus 6 is 20. What? 20. What's 8 plus 6? I'm sorry.
8 plus 6 is 14.
24 plus 8, 32. 32 points.
32 points. You know what? It's just kind of fun to add on here, isn't it?
Yeah.
You guys want to do some more math problems later? 32 damage. The thing now falls to the ground, blood spurting out of its chest.
I'm sorry, Helen.
And you look at it, and it looks like someone did an abstract of Helen. It looks like they took her body and turned her into an abstract painting, pulling her pieces and rearranging them in awful ways.
A little bit of me is worried that these people are continuing to move through the universe normal to them, and we're just perceiving them as Picasso pieces.
Oh, shit.
And that was the only engineer we had on board. No offense, crewman McGann. But I mean, this is the situation we're in. We should just head back towards the drive.
So we're just shooting our friends. They're not exact. They're not.
I don't know. I'm not a physicist. Okay, like biologically, that's still Helen.
You're right.
But I mean, I don't know. We need to get to the hyperdrive.
Man, that is such a fucked up revelation that I want a stress test from everybody, which means
a sanity or a fear.
That's a sanity save, and then if you fail it, I may make you roll on the panic table. Because that's fucked up. You think that maybe these people aren't actually monsters, you're just perceiving them that way.
Yeah.
A nice clean 7. I'm doing fine.
We're in a Doctor Who bottle episode, guys.
What? I rolled a 7.
Okay, great.
I rolled a double 8.
A double 8, so that's a critical fail.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, guess what?
I rolled a clean 7 as well.
Oh, excellent. So I love it. You already had your fucked up panic roll. Now it's crewman McGann's turn.
Yeah, with me, it was like, oh, we just killing humans? All right, that's a Wednesday for me, but I'm a Marine, baby.
All it took for Jimmy Doucet to go completely psychotic was for one guy to point a gun at him.
Don't point a gun at me. I'll go crazy. But if I'm killing humans, that's,
Okay, you need to roll 2d10, Mr. McGann.
21.
21. And you're going to add your stress. What is your stress right now?
25.
Okay, you know what? I gave you way too much stress earlier. I was like giving it out in the 10s, and I'm supposed to give it out to you in 1s and 2s. So roll 1d10 and subtract that from your stress.
Okay, I 9. I subtract 9 stress.
Okay, so what was your original stress?
Don't worry, I still have 16.
Okay, 16, and then you rolled a 21. So I'm going to do that much. Okay. So 16 plus 21 is still the worst possible thing that could happen.
I'm going to switch it because I get to do that once per session as a team.
You really, really should.
I'm going to.
Really, really should. Yeah, go ahead. Roll it again.
All right. 80. Oh, plus 16, 96.
No. Just 16 plus and then add the two numbers together on the dice.
16 plus 8.
Okay.
24.
24.
Oh, boy.
You go catatonic. You are unresponsive for the next 6 minutes.
Okay.
Can I bio that down? I've got a first aid kit. I have auto meds. I could give him an auto med.
I think that you probably should, Dr. Lopez, because right now the ship starts shaking like crazy, and actually the walls of the science lab feel like they're starting to rotate. So it might be a good idea to wake up crewman McGann right away.
All right. So I rolled a 54 on that. My intellect is 56. and I'm an expert in biology, so I have a plus 15.
Boom! You
Ooh.
basically hit the crewman again with a bunch of speed, and he snapped out of his catatonic state. But
Okay,
I have to give you some kind of disadvantage for what happened to you. So for a little bit, crewman McGann, you are taking disadvantage on your rolls. Now, what would you guys like to do?
Try to turn the fucking hyperdrive off.
Let's get to the fucking hyperdrive. Let's run.
And I think that we just named today's adventure the fucking hyperdrive. Okay. You run out of the science lab, and you can go through the cargo hold to the jump drive the long way, or you can go the short way past the life support in the airlock
short way.
Short way. Okay, as you are running toward the jump drive, I mean, it's a straight shot down the corridor. You come to the part where you have to kind of caddy corner across the cargo bay. So the cargo bay doors are there. You have to go through there. And are you going to open the door to the cargo bay?
Fuck no.
Yes. Well, no, we have to go through the cargo bay to get out.
Yeah, let me show you.
You said there was a...
Yeah, I have the map up. Yeah, we have to go through here.
You have to go through it. See?
All right.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you know, as a crewman, that in this part of the cargo bay, there's like a catwalk that just leads across over into the other corridor. So you're kind of looking down on the cargo bay here. Okay. So you open the door to the cargo bay, and you're looking at that catwalk. And on that catwalk is a creature that I would describe as, what if a person's after image like spread behind them like a centipede, but was all connected with flesh and is moving toward you in an undulating wave. And pieces of it seem to make it recognizable as Sohn Phillips, the security officer.
Well, I'm already rolling to shoot.
Yeah, he is.
The first thing you have to do is roll your speed.
Okay.
If these things are just our friends, but they're changed by the hyper effect, if you gave them some kind of stim or knockout drug, would it work the way it would on a regular person?
Well, you have to figure that out while I shoot, because I'm still in death drive.
You have to roll sanity to. I mean, if you.
If
if you don't want Jimmy to shoot, you can roll your sanity to see whether he has a choice.
Okay, I'll roll sanity first, because this is my commanding, of course. That's a clean 60 when I was supposed to hit 25. So now I'm gonna
You're
shoot.
attacking. So everybody roll speed and tell me how you did. Tell me if you succeeded at your speed roll.
I failed.
I failed as well. Clean 70.
I failed.
Okay, so the creature goes first, and here's what it does. The undulating kind of centipede-like creature, comes at you in a sinuous wave, spreads itself out toward you, its hands becoming very large, and they attempt to encircle Matt McGann.
Don't let it touch you.
Roll to attack him, Matt McGann.
Don't let him touch you.
And they succeed in an attack, Matt McGann. So this is close quarters combat, because it came within like kind of melee distance of you.
Okay.
So your choices again are to use your armor, which would block any damage.
Okay.
Or you can counterattack immediately, which would not block any damage. It would still do whatever effect it's going to do against you. Or you could roll, you could roll to kind of dodge by rolling a body save.
I'm going to do the body save, and I got a 5.
Nicely done. Okay. You kind of roll out of the way, but you had just opened the door and stepped onto the catwalk. So you're kind of like up against this catwalk, and you're looking down at like a 60-foot drop to the cargo bay floor below, and you haven't quite fallen over yet, but you're kind of like wedged between this weird creature that continues to expand and contract and this fall on one side of you. And now it is.
What did I miss?
It gets a second action, and it's you missed it. Reach out and miss Matt McGann, who successfully did a dodge. And its second, its first action was to move toward you. Its second action was to attack Matt McGann. So that means it is the players' turns. And I believe that we established that the one with the highest speed is Matt McGann. So go ahead and do what you'd like, Matt.
Do I get a free action to ask Doc something?
Sure.
Okay. If these things are just our friends, but experiencing reality at a different rate and speed than we are, is there a possibility that the drugs that would work on a regular person would work the same way if we just tried to like inject them with some kind of knockout thing?
I don't know, because like chemicals are subject to the laws of physics as well. Like if a chemical is
okay.
Space and
Guess
time.
what? You guys are arguing while you're doing all that. So what would you like to do, Matt McGann?
I want to run by it and run towards the hyperdrive room. I want to get away.
Great. That's a great idea. Why don't you give me a speed and you can add your athletics if you have it?
I do. Okay. So I'm trying to beat 55 and I did not.
Okay. This is pretty bad. What did you roll?
I rolled a 95.
A 95. Okay. So you're going to move half of your speed. So basically you have run past this thing, but like you're not like this thing stretches out along the catwalk. And if you had just succeeded, you'd be all the way almost to the door right now. But you're still like this thing's coils are like moving over the edge of the catwalk and you're still in the midst of them right now. You're still within melee range of it. And now, Jimmy Doucet, what would you like to do?
I think if we're
you have to do something, don't you?
Yeah. I'm still attacking.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, I'll attack him. So I'm gonna take this shot at him. The close combat because he's close to me too, right?
All
right. That is a 65, which hits.
Okay, he's gonna roll his armor. And he fails. So you can do your damage.
All right. That's with the SMG. That's 4 D6s, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
4
I'm sorry.
4 D10s.
4 D10s. Yeah, sorry. All right. I'm sorry, fellow compatriot, but I'm not in the right headspace. I'm gonna shoot you. All right. That is going to be another 19 again.
19 again. And so as we established, that is more than one of these things' health. So it's going to do a little roll to see if it kind of stays conscious and stays in fighting you guys. And it succeeds. So it is still moving about and doing its thing. But it is now bleeding out of various orifice, and it is it's like, parts of it that are stretching out of it now are like exploding blood and fluids and bone marrow at you. And now it is Oh no, you get another action, Jimmy.
Yeah, well, you know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna keep going.
You're going to pet
it. This one it failed. It's a 72.
Okay. So this time you forgot your special trick of firing at the skeleton. You were just like, and the bullets go crazy. And now it is Dr. Callista Lopez's turn.
Okay, I'm no longer certain that these things are monsters. I now think that it's possible we are in the course of having a mechanical problem on our ship, murdering our crewmates. I am going to, first action, switch out for my trank gun. And I'm going to attempt to shoot my trank gun at this thing.
Okay, great. I'm looking up the trank gun now to find the rules for it.
And I rolled an 8, and my combat skill is 47.
Well, that's incredible. So it looks like that's a big success. The thing still will get its, let's see. It's the target must make a body save at advantage or fall unconscious for 1d10 rounds. So let's see how it does on its armor save, which it fails. So now it's going to make a body save. Which it fails. So it is now asleep for 10 rounds. So this weird, like sinuous, like multi-spatial cubist nightmare suddenly like wavers and falls unconscious, and all the different pieces of it kind of flop to the ground and unroll in front of you, and now the whole catwalk is covered in this like organic mess, but the thing snores loudly. It is asleep the way, you know, a person would be.
Crewman McGann, you were right. Like it appears that these things may just be. Well, I was right, but you were right.
You were right first, or we still
yeah.
trying to kill them all.
Yeah, I feel like we should possibly try to go to non-lethal.
I agree. I'm running. I'm still running though. I'm going to the. I want to shut the hyperdrive down.
Okay. So Jimmy had. I mean, Ify had to step out for a second, but I think you're going to have a hard time convincing him not to use lethal force.
I'm gonna try to take a moment while Crewman McGann is like trying to get this shit done. I'm gonna take a moment to like try to rationalize with Jimmy to sort of be like, hey, these aren't monsters, this is our perception, so maybe we should try to use non-lethal force.
That's no problem. Now, lacking the psychology skill, I'm going to make you do I'm going to say an intellect roll, and I need you to do it at disadvantage, meaning you roll twice and take the worst of the two rolls.
Okay.
Hey, Jared.
Yeah.
Psychology is actually one of the prerequisites to psychology is biology, which Dr. Lopez has.
Wow. Guess what? You can add your biology rating to that roll.
All right. So
Dr. Lopez is trying to convince Jimmy to quit shooting everybody because they think that they've figured out that these are actually their crewmates, and maybe there's a chance at saving them. Go ahead.
So I rolled a 51. My skill is 56 plus 10%. So, and then I roll again.
Yes, and you take the worst of the two rolls.
And then I rolled a 5.
Guess what? I'm going to go ahead and allow you to stop Jimmy from going into death drive for a couple hours. 2 hours.
All right. I'll hear you out.
And I'm going to allow people. Sorry, Jimmy, go ahead.
But if I see some more crazy stuff that you can't quite explain, I'm gonna have to do what I do best.
Look, I trust your professional judgment. If you think you need to do that, I've gained a lot of respect for Marines today. But I think it's entirely possible we may have like murdered a couple of our colleagues.
Okay, everybody can also lose one stress from that exchange. Even Matt McGann, because he was there hearing the doctor's soothing words as well. And now we are heading to the
I'm
jump
down to
drive.
a low 15.
Okay, so we head to the jump drive, right? Is that where we're going? Because it is a direct straight shot ahead. You run through the cargo hold, through the computer area, which seems unmolested, out into the engine section, and then there's a corridor that leads down to the jump drive housing and where you would shut it down. Who is going down that corridor, and in what order? Is everybody going?
Yes, I'm going, but I'm not going first.
I'm going, but I'm going to take the flank for defense.
I'm the only guy that has a good chance of actually shutting it down. Unless, do those passwords, would anyone be able to use the passwords we found, or does my skill matter?
You have a numerical code that you're putting in, so
anyone can do that.
as long as you hand them the tablet so that they can read it off.
So, do we have you have a trank? You have a trank gun?
Yeah.
Would Jimmy be better at firing that than you?
Oh, yes. I'll give my trank gun to...
Yeah, give the trank gun to the Marine. He's got the highest combat, and put him in front.
Okay.
All right. I got the trank going.
Okay, so you're going first, Jimmy, now. All right. Let me know when you are ready to head down into the jump drive.
I'm as ready as I'll ever be.
Jimmy, as you start to walk down this corridor, and are the others behind him?
Yeah.
The entire corridor starts to twist around you.
Ooh.
And when you key open the pad to the jump drive and it opens up, you are looking at the epicenter of the hyperspatial disturbance. It's a kaleidoscope. All right. It's a kaleidoscoping mass of machinery that is currently in the process of simultaneously multiplying and folding in on itself. Everybody needs to make a sand save.
We should have done this at the computer, shouldn't we?
Oh shit! Would that have worked? I missed it.
Failed mine.
Made it.
Okay, if you failed it, take another point of stress, which you just healed. I'm going to rule that the death drive rule that we came up with no longer applies. You're back into death drive because you've suffered another shock. Literally, the room in front of you is like unfolding and re-interlocking itself like a tesseloid cubist nightmare, but you do see a keypad there. Do you reach into the room and start to try to put in the numerical code?
Yes, I reach my hand in.
Okay, two things happen. First, you need to make an intellect roll at disadvantage because the keypad is literally moving. The numbers are changing position as you do this. Intellect roll at disadvantage, please.
I'm going to go with the die that have helped. Leave my dumb die behind. Okay, my intellect just barely
failed.
Yeah, it just barely failed because it was a 31, but it just barely failed because it was a 33.
There's no other way to say it. That fucking sucks. And what happens is Jimmy keys in the thing, but it's moving so weirdly and it's so hard for him to track it that suddenly you see, and it's a crit fail, right? At 33?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God. And so when he does that, whatever he keyed in was a different code, and it's now going, bang, 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 and you're seeing the words jettison warp core like flash on a heads-up display. But now something even worse has to happen. I need Jimmy to make a body save.
That's a fail. That's an 87.
Now Jimmy pulls back out of the room and you see more fingers sprouting from his hand. And suddenly his face opens up and another one of Jimmy's faces sprouts forth from that. And that head opens up and another face sprouts forward from that. And Jimmy slowly transforms into one of the rearranged monstrosities that you have been dealing with. And he's currently not in control of his actions as he becomes this flowering cubist monstrosity. And now I need everybody to roll speed again.
Even
except for you. Except for you, Jimmy. You have temporarily and perhaps permanently become a warden-controlled character.
Yeah, and I have the trank gun.
Oh, that's right. You do. So, how'd you do on your speed roll? Very well.
Yeah.
Guy?
13.
I failed.
Okay, so McGann, you can go first. Then it's going to be this creature that has suddenly appeared in Jimmy's body, and then it's Dr. Lopez.
Well, I have two actions.
Okay.
Can I get to the keypad?
You can use like an athletics roll, a speed roll to get past him to the keypad.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay.
Is my combat or strength relevant to that?
Nope, just your speed and your athletics if you have athletics.
45 plus 10, I'm trying to beat a 55. And I don't do it.
Okay, so you're trying to get past him, but as more arms and legs sprout out of him, it's like impossible to get around him right now. So what would you like to do for your second action?
Could I try it again?
Yeah, you can.
All right. I did it. Wait.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, wait. No, I didn't. I missed by Wait, no. Fuck. No, I didn't. I missed by 1 point.
Okay, so you missed by a point and you're not able to do it. And so this thing is like stretching out toward you and doing all this stuff. And you can't get around it, Matt McGann, and you're probably like losing your shit. And now it's going to be the creature's turn, and I'm going to let Ify continue to roll. So Ify, I think that the creature is really Jimmy, but his brain has been weirdly bifurcated and divided a million times. So all these creatures are doing really is reaching out for their friends to make human contact. So you are still going to make an attack roll, like combat roll, to touch Matt McGann.
All right. And he's close to me too, right?
That's right.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Look, failed. I was using the dumb dice to protect my friends, and that was a
Thank you.
78.
Okay, 3 of your 7 arms reach toward Matt McGann and miss, but the creature gets 2 actions. So it likes
It's
to
me.
reach out.
Jimmy, it's me. I'm not a pirate.
Pirate. This one is actually it works. 38.
Okay, you know what you do in close combat, McGann. You can either dodge with a body save, or you can let your armor take it with an armor save, or you can just counterattack.
I'm gonna body save, which
Okay.
is what speed.
Just roll under your body. You have a body save on the sheet.
All right. I did it. 19.
Ooh.
Okay. Wow, that's so well. That's so good, and it's the dodge option. I'm gonna allow you. You kind of picked and rolled around Jimmy Doucet as he was reaching out to grasp you, and now you're on the other side of him. Okay, now it's Dr. Calista Lopez's turn.
I would like to, with my first action, wield my stun baton, and then I would like to shove my stun baton at this Jimmy creature.
Great. Give me a combat roll.
Ooh, 18 for a combat of 47.
That's awesome. So let's see. I think that he makes the body save, and if he fails it, he's going to go unconscious for a little bit. So go ahead and make that body save.
Come on, dumb dice. Keep it dumb. 74. I fail.
Yes.
Okay. You are going to go down stunned for 5 rounds. So the Jimmy creature flops to the ground and is going to be down for 5 rounds. Now so those were your 2 actions, Dr. Lopez. So let's go round by round. I'm counting them off. What are you doing now, Matt McGann?
I'm trying to key in that damn thing, and if any of my relevant skills, such as heavy machinery or mechanical repair, can help, I would love them to.
Do you have 0G?
I have 0G as well, yes.
I think 0G should weigh in because he's used to dealing with things that aren't like within conventional gravity or spatial relations.
That makes total sense. I will allow you to make a disadvantaged intellect roll, but you may add your 0G 10%.
Okay, so 46 is what I'm trying to beat, but at disadvantage. All right.
Yeah.
I beat it the first time, and I beat it the second time, 36 and 35.
Jump drive shut down. Suddenly the ship, everything gets blurry for a second. Matt McGann gets blurry. Dr. Lopez gets blurry. Everything is moving at like an incredible rate and vibrating at like a strange frequency, and suddenly like a migraine coming on in the space of 3 seconds, everything goes still again, and you look over at Jimmy Doucet and you see that he is actually back to his normal form. And now we're going to roll on the ship crit table to see what happened to the ship.
Yeah, we all might die anyway.
As we violently left jump space. So let's just see what it does.
I mean, we're stuck in the middle of deep space forever.
And we're rolling on the
Get it back
ship
up
crit
and running.
table.
I'm never going to see my sister again.
Yeah, and we rolled really bad. Cockpit or bridge destroyed.
Well, we're not in the cockpit or the bridge.
That's true. You guys just see a bunch of things light up that are showing that the cockpit has totally ripped free. I mean, not the cockpit, the bridge has ripped free of the rest of the ship. And there are all these warning lights going off.
Can I seal off the bridge from the rest of the ship?
Not from the jump drive. I mean, there's probably a lot of things that need to be done.
It's right around
right now. What I can tell you is that your ship is floating slowly out in the middle of space, and it just air is being sucked out of the place where the bridge once was. But is this a victory? You can continue to explore the ship for a little bit longer. We need to come to a beautiful denouement. So let's just fill Ify in on what happened.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh, please. What, you can't sit for 5 hours?
I can. My child can.
Right. I'm hearing my baby outside.
See, that's
legally belongs to me, by the way, not just one I found. And she's like, she wants dad attention, I feel like.
All right. That's what they want.
Yeah, they like attention. They don't understand how important it is to
We're playing games here.
Yeah, they don't get it. They don't get it. All right. So basically, Matt McGann was successful in shutting down the jump drive.
Yes.
With a disadvantaged roll. He succeeded. He didn't need to make a body save because he stopped the hyperspatial anomalies from happening. But when the ship came out of jump, violently abruptly, lost the entire bridge section, ripped off of it, and there's all these warning lights flashing on and off on the ship. But Jimmy Doucet's body has returned to normal.
Oh man, I'm so sorry about that, y'all. I hope you heard me. I said I don't think it's pirates anymore. That's what I was trying to tell you when I was caught up in all of that nonsense. Oh my gosh.
Can I run around to the computer room and try to save us? Pull the blast doors and stop the oxygen leak?
Absolutely. You run into the computer room, which all seems normal in here as it was before, and you try to use your heavy machinery skills. Sure, why not? Maybe they've trained you how to shut blast doors on the computer.
Okay, so I'm trying to beat 46 here. I think it goes to intellect, right?
Yeah, that's right.
All right, 46. Come on, I did it. 13.
Okay. So I'm gonna say that you do manage to shut the blast doors that cut off the bridge from the rest of the ship. So you're no longer losing oxygen and losing vital energy there. And now you have a Hulk floating in space. But here's the situation, and this is maybe where we're about to leave you. We're gonna keep playing for just a little bit longer. Without a command deck, you can still fly the ship, but you're going to have to run around to the different departments and key things in. Like
Mr. Burns and Smithers running the plant by themselves.
Exactly. Exactly. Go ahead, Doctor.
I'm going to use the radio or the communication device in my suit to see if Zoe or anybody, the captain, are still around while I am briskly walking past the body of Sohn. I'm getting
Dr. Lopez.
I'm getting back to Helen to see if I can stop Helen from dying or if she's already dead. But I'm radioing Zoe to see if we
put a lot
of
Zoe comes spilling out of life support, a room that you didn't check. Her jumpsuit is horribly frayed and weirdly fragmented, but she herself is now back in one piece. And she's like, oh my God, what the fuck happened?
Look, I'm going to tell you right up, Zoe, there was some madman going around shooting up everybody and we put a stop to him. I don't know, some crazed person. I think it was It was unfortunate. My commanding officer, I had to put him down. He was going around shooting up everybody.
That's when Soane Phillips walks our cargo hold back to normal, but somewhat nude. And he's like, you had to what?
I had to stop by.
Harry went crazy.
It's a big
Yeah.
You Marine! And that's where we'll end it. With this crew of half-naked people. I mean, half of them are literally naked. Although I suppose they could find another jumpsuit. Floating through space in a Hulk that will have to be Mr. Smitherton Burns to the nearest planet, if it possibly can be.
I successfully did physics, or kind of, and let's see my ex-husband do that, huh?
Well, I think that because I don't know exactly, this is one of my first times playing Mothership, and it's my first time being the warden, but I have played it. But I think that you should get some physics skill for all that, Dr. Lopez, don't you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's exciting.
That just makes sense. Actually, mathematics is the prerequisite. So I don't know how this works, but I think in my estimation, she now has a check beside mathematics.
Yay.
Does anybody else have something that they think that they learned?
I learned to do what the doc says.
Yeah. The doc was on it. Figured it out. I would have left a trail of more bodies.
Guys, that's because Guy understands story structure, and Guy understands the Campbellian monomyth.
Look, I just
they don't have Campbellian monomyth.
Yeah, lots of you went big brain theory. You did what we call playing at the height of your intelligence. Where most horror RPGs for me, it is monsters almost all the time, and they are out to kill you.
Yeah, you figured out that this was a low budget Doctor Who episode where they could only use one set, and you figured out the big conceit.
Well, I thought everybody played their characters perfectly. And I think we learned in the end that the ship is the real friend that we met along the way.
Yeah, it was like the
that
ship
was one of
was
our
a character.
commenters, actually, I think.
Yeah.
You guys were awesome. You were excellent. I hope you had a good time.
That's fun.
I just want to remind everybody that we do Stream of Blood every Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific right now and 1:30 p.m. Pacific on Sundays. And we do a lot of different games, and we generally stay away from Dungeons and Dragons only because there's a lot of shows that do that. Yeah. So we do like some different stuff. I would really love it if all of you could come back at some point.
Oh yeah.
And also I want our people that watched and the people that played to send me, I want to play this game, because what I'm trying to do is play all the games people have been wishing that someone would play for them for a long time, and no one will play them. Everybody just wants to play 5e. Well, on this show, we're going to play those games. So let me know if you have a wish game. And does anybody else have anything they want to plug or tell us about?
I have, if you're into Warhammer and you want to hear comedians talk about that, me and Andrew DeWitt have a podcast called Legends of the Painty Men, where it's just two comedians talking about Age of Sigmar. And we've got a whole bunch of episodes, and it's pretty ridiculous. And if that's something you guys are into out there watching, you might want to check that out. That's
perfect. That's a perfect on-brand plug for a tabletop role-playing stream, is a Warhammer podcast. Anybody else want to shout out?
Yeah. But first, I was going to make a comment. I always forget how huge of a nerd John is, because we'll always bump into each other at cons and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, you're a nerd too. I section off my friends as people in nerd world, stand-ups and actors, and I never think that they cross over, even though I do all of the shit. But yeah, for me, I have a late night show on Twitch that's luckily still able to go because we're doing it from my home. Super Punch, Monday through Thursdays. I host 8 p.m. Pacific, 11 p.m. Eastern, where we just play lots of games, do dumb bits, and go over our favorite clips from Twitch. And then my personal Twitch, If D's, where I'm usually playing games like this. But this, I never knew of this site, StreamYard, because I will say to shout out StreamYard. Maybe they're not sponsoring y'all already. They should, because I see the light. It's a pain in the ass getting like everyone's cams on Twitch, and this is like a nice, simple way. So I'll definitely be using this for live podcasty stuff. But yeah, check out Super Punch and my personal Twitch, and Ify Nwadiwe on Twitter and Instagram.
Thanks, Ify. Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, StreamYard is really, really nice for getting all the cams at once.
Yeah.
And Guy, what's up? Anything you want to tell us about?
Nothing to plug.
Okay, Guy has a book called My Life as a Goddess that is excellent. And I don't know, check out Guy's album. You also have a stand-up comedy album that came out pretty recently. So listen to that as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I knew your plugs for you.
Thank you.
On Wednesday, we are playing Vampire the Masquerade 5th edition with Thomas Middleditch, Ashley Birch, and Ross Bryant. This is the second chapter of that. So please come back and check that out. That's Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. And now I will say goodbye to my guests, unless they would like to stay, because I'm going to stay for just a little bit and see if anybody in the stream wants to talk about anything at all. They can ask a question or anything like that.
I got a bunch of work to do. I would love to stay and talk, but unfortunately, I'm going to have to bail.
Oh, work. Oh, so you're like a big, important adult. Okay, I get it. No problem.
Yeah.
I'm going to feed my daughter, but I also did want to double plus one on that Guy book plug. Alonzo Duralde from Who Shot Ya loved your book. And there was a movie you referenced that he said that when you referenced it, it made him cry because he felt the same way. It was a movie that had to do with eating. I forget.
Babette's Feast, probably.
Yes, that one. Yeah. So yeah. So that's why I was like, I gotta check that out. So I'm gonna be reading it. We're gonna have a little book club. Everyone in the chat who's gonna be reading it with me.
Thanks so much.
That's great.
Yeah.
Bye, guys.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, Ify.
Yeah. Of course. It was a good time. I'll see you soon.
Thanks, brother. Yeah. All right. Well, I'm still here for just a little bit longer. So if anybody has any questions or anything, they can say them in the chat. It looks like we have a couple people left. Anybody? The creatures just want to reach out and make human contact is pretty meta while we're in lockdown for plague. Wow. Yeah, no, that is a good point. I feel like the plague has really subconsciously inspired a lot of games and writing lately. Okay, well, I'm hanging out here for just a little bit longer. So, here you go. You mentioned Vampire the Masquerade. Are you following LA by Night? No, we have created our own set. The Vampires, it's Pittsburgh by Night.
I'll jump in really quick and say that the LA by Night folks are friends of the show.
Oh, yeah. Oh, are you following LA by Night? I thought you were asking if we were playing it. Yeah, we are definitely following their stuff. Yeah. Clint more than me, actually. I don't like to take in a lot of creative influences that will alter the art that I'm creating. I'm going to watch LA by Night in a minute, actually. Any chance of doing White Wolf Mage? That's a great idea, and that's one of my favorite games. And Clint played in a mage game that I ran not too long ago. And I want to know from you, Archdrone, or anybody else, do you want to see Mage the Awakening or Mage the Ascension? I have a personal favorite, but I like them both, so I would run either one. And actually, I think Clint also played in an Awakening game I ran too. Okay, great. Yeah, I'm gonna definitely check out the LA by Night game. Yeah, I see Aldrin's there. Legend of the Five Rings. So I guess I would ask the thread if people have interest. Like, I love the game Legend of the Five Rings, and I would really love to run it. But part of me is like, is it okay for me to like present a bunch of Japanese like iconography and culture like in a stream like this? Someone's not Japanese descent. I feel like it could feel a little weird. Like, it's one thing if I'm playing a bunch of different characters in Vampire and one of them happens to be Japanese and there's a little bit of that cultural affectation to him, but it's another thing when all of the characters are sort of like fantasy Japanese. It feels a little weird to me. I don't know, maybe I'm being too prissy about it, or I'm being too like PC about it. I would have to think about it carefully, because the thing about Legend of the Five Rings is samurai movies are one of my favorite genres, and I have seen so many Kurosawa and other things. I like 13 Assassins, Harikiri, and all these different films. I would love to do a samurai game, but I have to figure out how to do it and hit the right tone. I keep asking for more Clint, but Clint tends to hide a little bit. Clint doesn't. I mean, I want more Clint too. I want Clint coming in making jokes. I want Clint making fun of my inability to remember any rules. I think that would be really great. Yeah, I would feel cringy watching that there's no Asian Pacific Islander representation. That's absolutely how I feel, right? And then even then, I'm like the game master, so me not having that kind of background might still even make it weird. I don't know. I think the best thing to do would be to talk to a player of that background and have them kind of talk to me about it before I tried it.
It looks like the questions have slowed down, so maybe
Great.
today.
Hey, thanks so much, Clint, for helping us out.
Fun as always. Thanks.
And for introducing me to such an awesome game. That game plays amazing, even if you don't know the rules like I didn't.
Yeah, so Mothership is a game from Tuesday Night Games. And I found it because one of the guys who writes for it lives in Ann Arbor / Ypsilanti, Michigan, where I've spent many years, and he's friends of friends.
And
so
let me
check it out.
And I want to say one more thing in praise of it, which is that it has the most incredible design and layout of any role-playing game I've ever seen. Meaning, like, pages, all like a 2-page spread will cover one topic that you need to know about. So if you're using the book, you can just very quickly figure things out, usually.
The layout and the art are both by the writer of the game, Sean McCoy. So he's both the game designer and the artist. It's pretty impressive.
Buy a copy of the game because it is a beautiful artifact to have for your shelf porn, and please buy everything Tuesday Night Games and Sean McCoy does, because he clearly does these things very well. And I hope we have done a small amount of paying homage to how good he is. Okay, I think we will get off of here because I did mention I needed to feed a baby earlier. Thanks for coming, White Wabbit. Yes. Oh yeah. I mean, Ify was incredible. Like, that was my first time playing with Ify, and he's the best. So we'll have him on as much as he will agree to come on. All right. Thank you guys so much. I'm going to sign off. You guys were fantastic. I mean, the audience too. Stay safe, stay 6 feet apart, and we'll see you at the end of this damn plague. This has been the Stream of Blood. What time is Wednesday night? It is at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Vampires of Pittsburgh. See you then.